escape from the team called the morning steam. It's time to break, run for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
Yeah, right, everyone, and a pleasant good morning to you from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam Show for Friday, January 3rd. Well, it's our last day of daytime bowl games. Holidays are getting away from us. We'll have a few more down the stretch here, and saw, of course, yesterday's bowl game, if you will, the national playoff quarterfinal game wasn't great, but it turned out to be a big game for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. They got those key points there late in the second quarter, early third quarter to spell the tide. Notre Dame over Georgia, 23-10. Notre Dame will play Penn State in that national semifinal on Thursday in Miami, right? So remember the whole storyline, if you will, as to why they needed to play that game early. Was talking about it with the guys last night. Hope you had time to join us for the coverage of the other bowl game between Ole Miss and Duke. That turned out to be even worse or good, depending on which way you looked at it. But reason why they had to kind of move that game forward into the afternoon, there's no way the networks wanted to have that game played, or I'd say the networks, ESPN, ABC, Disney, at 4 p.m. Eastern and 1 Pacific. They would have certainly preferred that in prime time, even with the one-day delay. But these coaches and programs may have insisted and said, hey, we've got to turn around and get ready here in less than 7 days with that. So I don't know, maybe a half a day, maybe it doesn't matter, but we did see Notre Dame win it with their performance there. Stockton, first college start there for Georgia, the 234 yards, 20-34. Looks like a pretty okay prospect, certainly, but well, all they could really end up talking about is the Fighting Irish and their game plan, their overall performance, if you will. Maybe it was lucky, maybe it was good. There, those points there. Georgia made a few mistakes, certainly, but it was Notre Dame and Marcus Freeman getting some certainly some accolades here for the job he did with that play that they went for it, right, and got Georgia to jump off sides there with that late substitution there. If they don't get them to jump off sides, if they don't get a first down on that play, Georgia is going to have great field position and maybe able to wrestle the lead anyway from Notre Dame. So hope you had a good one in that one. We were on last night with the guys, including Razor over at Razor Sharp Picks for the coverage of Ole Miss and Duke last night in an absolute blowout. I tried to get cute with Duke. They got a pretty good program. The guys were talking down a little bit about this Duke program, and Mikey Money said that they would be a team to fade next year. They did get Tulane's quarterback, and they're paying him a couple of $1 million a year, so I think they are lined up at least offensively next season. That's a pretty good quarterback they have coming in, but the guy who was supposed to be Duke's quarterback this year got poached by Notre Dame. So nonetheless, the Ole Miss really crushed there. They outgained Duke by 300 yards. Jackson Dart, look, he might have some physical limitations going to the NFL, but he's not going to be a high draft pick, but he'll be a draft pick, and he might be a sleeper for some team. It feels like 400 yards, 4 touchdowns. Ole Miss had a pick 6. Duke ran a kickoff back for a touchdown and screwed my guys last night. They tried to hit that team total for Duke under last night, but Duke wasn't ready for it. Their QB already had bolted for the money as well, so they weren't in position there. I kind of gave the coaching staff too much credit that they'd be able to salvage the game and stay in there against mighty Ole Miss. I was saying that Ole Miss wouldn't be taking the game as seriously because they didn't make the college football playoff, but you forget, I guess, or I forget, I guess, that they look to make a point with their effort last night. And of course, their coach is going to look to do some things and have some fun. So we had some fun, though, last night over with Razor and the guys on the show. And I think we're supposed to do it again here, maybe this weekend for some of the NFL action. We'll see how that goes. I don't think they pinned down a date specifically or a game specifically, but we'll see. I know the guys will be on Saturday for a little sports betting action. So we'll see if we can't join them here as we get ready for the sports weekend here on Friday. Get ready for the NFL here, but there are a couple of bowl games here today. We'll preview North Texas and Texas State. We'll preview Minnesota and Virginia Tech. NFL gets right back at it tomorrow with the AFC North games, and we're ready to go already for our last weekend of the regular season. So, that's okay. We got playoff time just around the corner, and we got our big college football playoff set right now. We've seen the lines come out for the national semifinals, especially now that Notre Dame and Penn State are in place, and you got Notre Dame favored by 1.5, maybe 2 now, actually, at some books. And the total mostly 47, maybe 46.5, even some 46s out there with Notre Dame and Penn State. And of course, we saw Ohio State mostly a 6-point favorite everywhere, total 53.5 here. And Monday night, it will be the FCS National Championship. Don't forget, undefeated Montana State taking on North Dakota State. On Montana State to win the championship there, and got some steam rolling in right now to get our show started. So thank you everybody for coming today. I was in the red yesterday with a heavy card, but just couldn't find the right mix of wins and losses yesterday. So I did give some back off the good day on Wednesday. Right now, steam coming in here between Akron and Bowling Green, a couple of teams that have a pretty good series history of overs, but nonetheless, we got to move here to the over 154, now up to 155 or so with Akron and Bowling Green. We're going to go over about 5 college basketball games here maybe today, as well as our big NBA card and NHL. We've got a 5-game slate, so we'll have those previews here. I'll say hello to everyone in the chat coming in here on a Friday. Thank you, folks, for coming in here, and let's see who we got joining us in the chat. We've already had 22 commenters here, according to the old contest drawing. Could that be right? Man, we're getting more and more popular by the day here on the Sports Money Network. Kudos to our team. Joe T is here. Great time with Joe last night. Great hits by Joe last night. Let's just face it, Joe in the NHL last night. Some hot winners from Joe yesterday, including Vancouver and Seattle game to go over. Great pick by Joe there yesterday as he knocked a few out of the park and also hit some in college basketball on the show yesterday. Cash Kane is here today, ready for a good one. I think it will be a good day here, it looks like. Hey, everyone, like this video, subscribe to our channel, Sports Money, here on YouTube. I don't know, Thomas. I don't know how you get it right every day with your phone. I think this one's a copy and paste, my friend, and I'm glad it is to get that up there every day. Remind everybody what to do. Hit that like, thumbs up, share, smack it, hit it, rub it down all over Sports Money Network here on YouTube, fastest growing sports betting channel on YouTube. Hopefully, the fastest growing sports money here. Oldie here today. Twisted, good morning. He had a strong day yesterday. I didn't have that strong of a day for sure, but feel good about the card here today. And here is Gravy. Hello. There you go. GB on the grind here. Johnny Walker ready to go today. There's Damon Waring. Chip Plylar. He says he's a customer and he says I'm charging his debit. Pay for my losses here a little bit. Thanks for the money, Chip. Appreciate it. I don't think you're on my list, brother. I'll leave you in there, though. I don't mind. Appreciate that. But I don't need your trust, man. I got everybody else here. And no other subscribers are having problems except for maybe the couple of L's there yesterday. So appreciate it. There is an auto renewal on the subscription. So I think you're just pulling my leg, one of these fools there. But hey, there's Gerardo. Good morning. We got soccer action today going off with the games in La Liga and in France today. Those are probably the features, it feels like, here today. Maybe the guys will stop in with some soccer action. There's Lex today. Hello, how are you? Happy New Year to you, Lex. Damon Waring here today. Bob McCormick with me. And Curtis, hello, there he is. Thank you for being here as well. Cliff Floyd, ready here to go today. Nicholas Handy, Philly Eagle Flyer. I know when I see the guys, everything's good here. Here's Alvin as well. Thank you, MT13. Wow, nice to see you, my friend. Great to see you. Where you been? Hopefully all is good. MT13 feels like almost a day oneer with me here. MT13, wow, great to see you. Fernando, ready to roll. Nutflush is in the chat here today as well. What's he got? Bruins team to get these action here today in this one. Let's see here what the Nutflush has there. Bruins team. Those were yesterday's action here. Thank you to Nutflush. All right, here we've got Cash Kane, thank you. Fernando had a good morning in his soccer here this morning with the games with Central Coast and Brisbane. Western beat Perth. Western United beat Perth today in soccer action. Stop Geo had a fun time last night with the guys. Terrell, here is Terrell's winning ledger here yesterday. Detroit, he had the Illini. Wow, Illini, very impressive performance yesterday. You got to upgrade. If you didn't have an Illinois upgraded already, you might want to after seeing them last night. Tatum, Sharp, Pacers and over, Nets and OKC. Great day there. Philly Eagle Flyer looks like he is ready to go here with some action today, including let's see here. He's got action in that Real Madrid-Valencia game today. And there is a Coppa Italia with AC Milan and Juventus today. Thank you, Philly Eagle Flyer. Mushroom is here. Blue is here as well. Thank you, Blue, for being here. And there you go, Gravy. Thank you very much. Kirk Gray wants that football game and get going. Thank you. And there's Damon. He's ready for some picks from me. Go with me today because maybe I'll bounce back is what it feels like here after yesterday. I went heavy, man. I was ready to really smash one out of the park, but I definitely ended up in the red yesterday. I think 3 games under 500 are the monster cards. So it's going to cost a couple of units here after a good day on Wednesday. Say I'm treading water here this week a little bit, and maybe I've had it bouncing up and down in the bowl games. Certainly, I like today's bowl games, though. The Donut Silks. Hello, Donut. Nice to see you. I'll do the commercial and see, and then we'll try to see what was going on with my man, Chip Plylar. He's a member, so I definitely want to, I'll work with you on that, but I don't know what's going on. I mean, I have auto renewal, and everything is handled by the Winnable and the uh, uh, what is that? Stripe, a very respected payment processor. So just check your auto renewal button off, and that's what you need to do. The agreement's there when you sign up. Auto renewal is on there. So, all right, let me do the commercial here and try to tout my wares today. This is what I'm all about here. So we got to have it straight. You can get my picks over at winnable.com. These are additional picks. These are my best picks, actually. I'm going to hopefully give you some free winners here on the network, and so are the guys every day. But you can get my best plays, or at least the ones I think are the best, over at winnable.com. I give out high volume. You don't have to play them all. Just know what plays I'm on. Someone who sits here all day handicapping, watching games, doing these shows. So check me out over at winnable.com and use the promo code STEAM to save 20%. You can get additional plays from me every day over at Winnable to add to your portfolio, if you will. I'm a high volume player. I like to play the landscape of sports betting. I'm not good enough to pick 3 games a day and win them all. That's just not how I do it. There's just too much variance for me in sports betting. I cannot zero in on 2 or 3 games and figure that I have such a dominant advantage in something as crazy as sports. So I try to use my numbers and play the best moves. I mean, if I have a line that is 3 points or so off from my numbers, it's probably going to be a play. So again, I don't think I'm sharp enough to just go with 3 plays or something. Hey, if you can do it, that is awesome, and I appreciate you. But that's not the way I see it. There's a lot of variance in sports betting, so I try to just hammer it out and make sure I give you the best position here every day. So appreciate all that support here. And don't forget, check us out on the community tab each day where we have more plays from our guys every day. Should be a pretty good day here today. We'll see if the guys have anything going with our card today. But really had a good time with the guys last night. Even if it was a pretty crummy bowl game, we did have a lot of fun talking other sports that were going on at the time. So check me out over at winnable.com. Click the QR code in the lower right-hand corner of the screen. That'll take you over to the Winnable page. There you'll see, if you've got to the right place, a little picture there of me. Oh, let me get back on the screen here. I thought I was on the screen. And you'll know you're in the right place when you see my picture up there on my Winnable page. Here we go. Show it to you right now. Pretty fast here. It's a browser base, so it looks just like that. And it's got Apple Pay, Google Pay. I'm not sitting here. I don't have anybody's credit card information. That is handled by this platform, and it is secured by Stripe, one of the largest payment platforms that people use for all of their e-commerce needs in different realms of society. We just happen to use it for sports betting picks. So you can get my picks for $20 a month. It's about 50 cents a day over there. And if that's a little too much for you, stick around. I got free plays for you here all day. Hopefully those get you started. And then if you like me, you can come on board to get more plays. Again, make your plays and see what Ramon has. I'm serious about this. I've got bells and whistles everywhere, and just try to track sports betting every day. That's what I do. And we've got more stuff planned for you here with the Sports Money Network. Believe me, it's going to be a great 2025. And I'm glad that I was able to convince Mikey to be part of this team and, do some things for me and for this team that are going to make us players in this space. And you are players too when you join me in the chat and become one of our chat all-stars. Hello, stars. We'll try to get a consensus win again here today. Joe was our actual contestant there yesterday with our 2-teamer on the show yesterday, but we went I think we were 1-1, right? Let me make sure of this. Otherwise, I might owe Joe some money here. But I think we went 1-1 with those consensus plays yesterday. But we'll try it again here with a consensus parlay today, and we'll get ready for the show. Here we go. Go over and say hello to a few more folks here right now. And who do we got? A few more, hopefully, in here. Let's see here. Terrell, hello. He says Georgia, maybe Kirby there yesterday, right? He got out coached by Marcus Freeman a little bit. And I think what I said is the SEC, I think we're going to see the other conferences close the gap because of NIL here. I mean, hey, I'm not saying it's a little bit of money to get some top-notch talent, but I think some schools can afford it. Some schools looking to make an impact in college football and other sports. So, all right. Nasty Nate. Yeah, no, we've had two, Nate. We've had two winners already, so the streak has long been over. But I'm trying to see. Actually, I'm trying to remember here what the play was last night. Maybe you guys can remind me there. I mean, I have it written down here somewhere, but it was only a two-teamer, so I didn't get too excited over it yesterday. But one of them was, of course, the winner was the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. That was the consensus winner yesterday from the group. But the Indiana Pacers, there it is. There's the Pacers that won, right? So Joe won, right? The Pacers got it big time. Joe won. Joe won. Oh my God! How do I not read Joe? Where is he? Where is he? I better pay up with Joe. I'll add it up today. I owe Joe for sure. How did I miss it? Awesome. I hope Joe doesn't show up too. Everyone's in here wanting money. Cool. All right. Appreciate it, gang. Let's kind of regroup and recap here what we saw yesterday. As I said, we know about the football there yesterday, but we were able to manage some winners in some of the other sports anyway with our action here on the network. In NBA action, we did have premium pick winner yesterday with the Minnesota Timberwolves. They got the money in the best game of the day there with the matchup with the Celtics. They came all the way back, but ended up losing the game. Celtics win, Wolves cover yesterday. We also had a premium pick winner in that Pacers game. Yeah, I had the Pacers as well as team consensus, but also, we had the premium pick winner on the over yesterday. Also, premium pick winner with Clippers and Thunder game to go under. We did have the Thunder as well on the show to blow them out. We had the Nets yesterday here on the show. The picks on the show were strong. My NBA was the bright spot, 4-2 in premiums. I went with every game. So hopefully that's okay with you guys. Blazers, Lakers, under was our fourth premium pick winner. We also had the Lakers here on the show. We also had 76ers and Warriors game to go under here on the show. So we did have a good day in the NBA. Problem was in the NHL for me, I was not clicking, but we did have some winners here on the show that were pretty solid, including Hurricanes and Panthers game to go under. Also, Minnesota Wild getting it done over the Capitals. Premium pick winner was Bruins and Rangers under with Quick in goal there yesterday. Also, we had the Blue Jackets here, puck line. They got the win over the Red Wings yesterday, or I think we were actually on the total over in that one. That's what it was. We had the Blue Jackets. Red Wings got the win, I believe, in that game. We had the total there as our winning pick on the show, but NHL had a hard time finding too many winners. Hats off to Mikey Money and said you guys right to your face about the Utah Hockey Club, right? That all the sharps, usually that's the way I operate, man. I follow big moves. That's what I do. I'm a market handicapper. They were screaming at me, take Utah. Handicappers were on Calgary. No doubt about it that I follow, and I kind of fell into that category, but it was Utah that looked much the best in that game, even though it was close there for a bit. But Utah, when the thing's screaming out to you, I'm supposed to do that and be a little bit contrarian. You see Calgary, a very good team at home. Utah, they were on a big losing streak. Now, granted, they've been hot on the road for sure. Is that 8 straight road wins or something like that for Utah? And they got it there yesterday. But Joe T, of course, that winner, Vancouver and the Kraken game to go over. I did have the night ended with a premium pick winner, Tampa Bay and San Jose game to go under. And we also had a winner on the show here with the Vegas Golden Knights on the puck line as they continue to smash here right now. So college basketball was certainly up and down for me. That huge card, and I've tried to lay it out yesterday and try to bring home some big card, but just couldn't get it going there last night in college basketball with a big card. Ended up just one game under 500. Hope you did too. Should have been 9-10. College football 1-1, but it was the NHL for me, where I'd been doing pretty good on my totals, but went sideways yesterday with some interesting games, man, no doubt, especially that Illinois performance smashing Oregon in Eugene, 109-77, impressive win. They haven't done that great against top 100, but that defense is certainly something to contend with there yesterday. Also, how about Joe T with that winner, Detroit Mercy and Robert Morris, game went overtime. The Colonials led by 14 in the first half, but the three-point shooting wasn't good, but it didn't matter. Detroit Mercy won it 78-76. Other good games yesterday. Western Kentucky over Liberty 71-70. The Flames led by 14 at halftime yesterday, but foul shooting was awry in that game for sure. And we did have some premium pick winners worth noting yesterday anyway, and some winners on the show, including Arkansas State and Old Dominion game to go under here on the show yesterday. We also had Campbell premium pick winner yesterday. We did have that over with Jover on that Robert Morris Detroit game here on the show. Also, we had Texas State and Marshall game to go over here on the show. Premium winners, Southern Miss plus the points against JMU. Towson and Wilmington game to go under was a premium winner. Northwestern and Penn State over. Easy winner yesterday with the premiums there. And also, Mikey Money with that win, man, yesterday from pre-gaming on Oakland, really smashing Wisconsin, Milwaukee yesterday. And Illinois State, Murray State premium pick winner to the over. Also, Weber State, Northern Colorado premium pick winner over. South Dakota, Missouri, Kansas City game under was a winner for me. Southeast Missouri State over Tennessee State was a winner here. And we saw Mikey Money with that winner on Texas Tech yesterday on pre-gaming that first half play. So it's a pretty good, pretty fun day, but couldn't quite get home there yesterday. Winner yesterday, Maryland and Washington. Washington ended up they're pulling that one off against Maryland as a home underdog. We did have the under as a winner, but just want to note Washington winning that game yesterday as a 6-point underdog, I believe, against Maryland. We had late game Northridge over Fullerton, premium pick winner as well, and Waken win with Santa Barbara. That series history against Hawaii kind of came to fruition. Mikey had the winner on pre-gaming with Navy over American yesterday as well. Let's get to the steam rolling in here, and then we'll get on with the show and preview our games today. Maybe just a average length show today, but we do have some moves that came in here the last couple of minutes to get you started. The steam was pretty strong there yesterday, stronger than me, that's for sure. The moves, if you will, on the show. How about Georgetown? They're taking the steam here against Xavier. We'll preview this one. Georgetown was a pick'em. They're probably up to 1.5 or 2 here right now with the Hoyas at home against the Musketeers. Steam on Georgetown here this morning. Also, Ohio State, man, talk about taking some steam. Ohio State was a 1 point favorite. They're up to a 2.5 here now with the move against Michigan State. So steam coming in on Ohio State. Also, uh, NBA steam came in on the Charlotte Hornets here just as we were getting going. It was 6. Looks like it's down to 5 here right now with Charlotte on the road against the Pistons here tonight. Also, I think we're good to go. All right, let's say hello to just a couple more and we'll get started. Thanks for joining me here, everybody, on Friday. Okay, here we are. Do we got any more friends with me? Yeah, Joe. I didn't even. We call that content, right, Joe? I was supposed to talk it up when you hit it, even if it was just a 2-teamer. I think there were like 400 views on the show yesterday, so add it up, 2-teamer at $4. I'll give me your Venmo, or maybe we'll double down on something, Joe. What we'll do, maybe we'll take any games we got, we'll parlay them together here today. Any games, maybe Joe and Ramon consensus. Patrick likes the bowl game today, Texas State, and under 68.5 here. Oh, he's buying a few points there for sure. But man, that total has just been racing up there today. And let's see, Fernando saying some of the games aren't on the board there. I think maybe some, they think they're good bookmakers and they don't realize sometimes that there are other games than just league games there, I guess. Hello to Elliot today. Thank you. And Robert had some winners there yesterday. That makes me feel better. Donut Silks likes LIU today there in their matchup with Lemoyne, with the Lemoyne Dolphins. And Terrell says Detroit, home dog Kings. Thank you. Yep. Let's see if we got any other D-Money. Hello and good morning. All right, I think I'm ready to start the show here and get ready to go with our previews here today, including a day game, an afternoon game here. I guess one other note was in golf because Jeff M was talking about him. He played, I believe he said he played Corey Connors, I think. And Corey Connors, or he won a matchup, I think it was, but Corey Connors just 2 strokes back of Tom Hoagie leading the way out there in Hawaii. I don't know if my golfers are coming in too strong here at this point. Aaron Rye is our best chance. Moving forward, 4 strokes back at 5 under here. He was probably our best golfer yesterday. He had to kind of go down the list to find the rest of my guys, including Max Grazerman at 3 under par. He's probably the closest one that I had there with that group. So, okay, let's go. College football, get started here today. We previewed actually the games last night. Hello to Dana and hello to Irish King. Yeah, problem there, Dana. We mentioned it there, and I'm sure you might have saw it as well. But when talking about Rutgers last night, we didn't necessarily know that one of their star freshmen would end up missing the game there. And I will say this, though, they still played pretty well, I thought, but Indiana's found an interesting rotation there yesterday. I thought it was more about Indiana yesterday than it was Rutgers losing here. We did have the under on the show actually as our pick, but I did say I'm still willing to go with Rutgers last night on the air with the show with the guys. Just because they played so well against Indiana. But looking at Indiana last night, I might look to them a little bit moving forward because I thought they had some interesting rotations there, at least the way I was watching the game. And there were plenty of games on, but just watching the way things transpired in that game, Indiana looked pretty interesting there last night for sure. All right, let's go with our games here today and start it off with that first bowl game action here with the First Responders Bowl. And boy, we could really use we count on our first responders, and saw the poignant start to the game yesterday, I guess you could say, with Notre Dame and Georgia. We all appreciate the first responders. So this is a nice game in Dallas, certainly today at the First Responders Bowl with North Texas and Texas State. Why not? A couple of Texas teams, and like I said, we did kind of preview this game last night. I felt like with Gonzo, our Texas connection there, and I mentioned the way I kind of saw this game, and I asked him if I had it right, the storylines here in this game, and I think he agreed that we did have kind of the preview right on the game here, as the money kind of came rolling in a little bit on the Texas State Bobcats and the under. Of course, here you have North Texas. They're without their quarterback, their top wide receiver, their number one tight end, three starting offensive linemen, and North Texas will start Mestamaker here at quarterback. Drew Mestamaker. Texas State, they are down 7 starters as well, including their best running back, but it's just a matter of, can you trust Texas State to cover a big number here against North Texas? Texas State has been favored in every game this season, but they're only 5-5, or they had 5 losses during the season. So maybe that could be enough for you to consider North Texas here, but I'm not sure if it is for me. I will say, watched the show last night. Gonzo said it pretty much perfectly clear that it was going to be all about Texas State today. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I think he was touting Texas State here, even minus 2 touchdowns in this one. They won 3 of their last 4 games, averaging 46 points per game. So Texas State was 4-3 against the spread as a double-digit favorite this season. Texas State won this bowl game last year over Rice 45-21 as a 3.5 point favorite. North Texas has played in this bowl before, but it was 8 years ago. North Texas comes in here 6-6, but they're the team that's lost 5 of their last 6 games coming in. I mean, you get 6 wins, you are bowl eligible. We saw a bowl team sneak in with 5 wins this year, but it does feel like if you ranked all the teams, from 1 on down, that Texas State would be probably near the bottom here in the bowl season right now. North Texas was just 2-4 against the spread as an underdog this season. They went under in 3 of their last 4 games. North Texas has lost 6 straight bowl games, and their all-time record in bowl games is 2-11. So let's see what you guys want to do in the chat. Handicappers are heavy. Texas State and over. So let's see what you guys have in the chat in the game today. The First Responder Bowl with North Texas and Texas State. All right, here we go with Thomas. He'll take Texas State and lay these points. Dana says Indiana lost a player there yesterday. Maybe that was part of it, Dana, because I don't know if I caught that. I was just looking at the flow of the game, the crisp look that Indiana gave, and I thought their lineup looked very. Now, it may have been because of the matchup with Rutgers. Maybe they just had a good matchup, but I think they might have a little something there. Curtis says, give me North Texas. And Blue, I think he's saying no chance Texas State covers a big number like that. I think he's saying that. Elliot says he likes the under in this one. Maybe it's just gone too high here for Elliot. And he says that with this North Texas situation today, they're going to have to bring along an inexperienced quarterback here in this one for sure. So, all right, here, let's see. Twisted says 0-6 in bowl games when they're missing their QB. I didn't know we had that kind of information back that long. Look, I'd like to lay 10 points here, no doubt, but does be a Texas State by 14. Texas State for Terrell. Lay it. Thomas says this is a consensus play here today with Texas State. How about it? Wow. All right. Well, if it is a consensus play from the chat, then I'll go along with the chat here in this one, and I'll lay it with Texas State. We did see one in there, I think, with North Texas there, but like I said, pretty big number, but I was thinking about using them as a premium today, but maybe I'll pivot to the total. I like the total as well, despite the strong move to the over for sure. And let's see if we got a few more comments here. Robert will be on North Texas here today. And Terrell says these are the type of situations that the quarterback decline is the greatest, right? Because you don't have the recruits maybe backing up like you do at the top schools where maybe the next quarterback up is going to be still pretty strong. And Twisted says, I just can't do it. I can't lay all those points. And oh wait, Thomas says never mind. So I think I don't know. Is he having regret here? I hope not, because I was just gave away. I was going to use Texas State as the premium here, and I pivoted off that. So all right, Jermaine, hello, hi Jermaine. And Flesh says, look at the quarterback props. It'll tell you the story in this one today. All right, so I think we've canceled the consensus play here. So I guess I'm stuck on, look, this is my premium, and maybe it is a little high, so I'm okay with it, giving it out as my preferred play here, Texas State. Like I said, Gonzo gave me a lot of confidence there, the way he kind of talked Texas State up there after I told him what I thought of the game. But all right, I will take Texas State as my play here on the show. And you look at that total right now. I'm saying it's 65 here at this point. Maybe it's gone up just a little bit. So enjoy the First Responders Bowl today at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 Pacific, our last daytime bowl game of the college football bowl season here. There's a few more to go here. And, you know, we have a day game on Saturday at 11 Eastern, but that's Saturday. This is weekday action. So the season is coming to an end in college football. We got our big games still to come, but Thomas takes Texas State too to make me feel better. And maybe that was the right, maybe you know what, maybe the way I've had a up and down bowl week here, maybe it's best that I get off this double-digit 2-touchdown favorite, even though they probably should have a pretty good advantage here over North Texas. All right, let's go to the night game tonight and talk about it. Who likes a little mayo on their sandwich? Who likes mayo dumped on their head tonight? Will it be PJ Fleck to get that mayo shower here as an 8.5-point favorite against Virginia Tech? The total 42.5. The Mayo Bowl, the Dukes Mayo Bowl at Charlotte tonight with the Gophers, and almost the same kind of story here a little bit, right, with Minnesota substantially favored here over Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech is probably it's close, right? We've talked about a few other teams that have been decimated or ravaged by the opt-outs, but it feels like Virginia Tech might be the one that's taken one of the biggest hits. They've had as many as 15 starters that could be out of this game, including 3 offensive linemen, 3 defensive linemen, and 3 defensive backs. Also, Virginia Tech's quarterback Drones will be out of the game in this one. So it'll either be Schlee or Watkins here. Let's see if I have that right now. I don't know if we have necessarily the designated starter in the game. I'm expecting one of those 2 guys for sure. Meanwhile, the Gophers are down just 3 starters for this game here. So the teams were similar in stats during the regular season, but I think now Minnesota may have a pretty sizable advantage in this one. Minnesota has won 5 straight bowl games, so under Fleck, right? And Joe was saying, and he's kind of my Midwest expert a little bit. He was not. He says I'm not a PJ Fleck fan, but he fits, right? He fits with the Gophers here. It feels like a little bit. Still got to lay this number here, and it's down in Charlotte. I don't know that that necessarily favors Virginia Tech here in this one, but I'm going to end up on the over in this game with Minnesota and Virginia Tech. Let's go to the chat. Maybe I should have waited to see what the chat had before I go spouting off again here, but I don't know if you guys will. 42.5 seems reasonable here. I know it could be an issue maybe for Virginia Tech in this one, but we'll need a little bit of a contribution anyway from Tech. Let's take a look at the numbers with these two teams. Minnesota won 5 of their last 7 games coming in to the bowl, and as long as they can keep the offense cranking, they usually win that. If they gain over 300 yards, they win, and if they don't, they lose. That's what happened this season for the Minnesota Golden Gophers. For Minnesota, they were 4-2 as a favorite this season. That's a strong point of PJ Fleck. So if you say you don't like him, he covers lines as favorites. That's sometimes popular for the public for sure. Not that they look at it that way. Gophers 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 bowl games. Those wins with Fleck. For Tech, they went 6-6 this season, but were favored in 10 of their 12 games. So they were not sharp for sure, and they were not sharp in close games, going 0-7 or 0-5 in games decided by a touchdown or less. So the ACC has lost this bowl game for 5 straight years. Let's go to the chat, see what you have in the Dukes Mayo Bowl today with Minnesota and Virginia Tech. Take a look at the chat all-stars here in this one and see what we got. Thomas starts us off with Minnesota. Matt D, hello, Happy New Year. Good to see you in the chat. And Dana says, look, the spread's going up here, maybe even 9.5 now for the Gophers. Yeah, in fact, Bet Online, they're ready to take it over the top here right now. And Bet Online's juiced up at 9.5. Wow, maybe I should have. Well, I don't want to say where we're doing here. I don't know, but it doesn't matter. I give away half the premiums anyways. Here is Twisted on Minnesota. I'm going to update that line on the screen for sure. I'm going to make it 9.5, like you guys are saying there. I'm showing the sharp books are actually still hanging on a little bit, which is a bit of a maybe of a concern, but nonetheless, see if we got a few more comments here. Sancho, good morning. And Elliot says he does not think it'll be a blowout, but Minnesota wins, and maybe it goes under there. Good luck to Nunya. Nunya, I thought you were a professional bettor. You're so sharp. But look, he won the PSR Cappers contest. Or did he win it yet? I'm trying to finish 500 on the season. So good luck to Nunya, showing his handicapping prowess there in the contest across the street. And even though I didn't have a great NFL record over there, like I said, I think I can get to 500 for the season. That's nothing to write home about. I was the leader for the year for the most points accumulated in the UFC contests every week. Now, that may have been because I entered in my picks every week, and if somebody skipped a week, that cost them. But nonetheless, I did, and I never won. I never won any of the so it must have been that I just was consistent. But no doubt I ended up with the most points in the UFC contests over there over the year, but never won 1 week. All right. And Terrell says he'll take Minnesota as Robert Gophers and over. Joe T, right? That would be a Fleck, right? He wants the mayo dumped on him. Now, look, I can tolerate some mayo, but I don't know. I'm kind of embarrassed to say this, but I try to be honest here. And I'm a Miracle Whip guy. I'm a Miracle Whip guy when it comes to my, uh, we got Miracle Whip mayo, but I'm 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 like a little kid. I use Miracle Whip. You out there, Higgs? All right. Elliot says I have a strong defense and an offense that won't take chances, and that Tech will have to take some chances. And Nunya, good luck on that, Nunya. I got a job for you picking winners. Oh, wow. Thomas was a 20-year OTR. Wow, Thomas. I didn't know that. That's amazing. I actually was a I know I talk about 85 different jobs I've had in my life, but being a single all my life, a lot of times I worked two jobs just because I was always, doing things with sports and being busy. But I was actually a freight terminal manager for 3 years. Uh, Thomas, wouldn't that have been awesome to have you backing into my dock? All right. I always liked to, uh, you know, I'd send the guys home and forklift that stuff myself. Save on the labor. If we had a light night, maybe we had just maybe just one pup going out, and I'd do it myself. And I was not. I taught my well. I mean, how hard it is to drive a forklift, but taught myself when no one was looking. All right. Oh, Nunya, that's awesome. There. Can't wait to see you there on Johnny Walker. Look, if you're going to get dumped with, you better have Miracle Whip getting dumped on you. Joe T on the over in the Duke's Mayo Bowl. Joe, I got to get you, how am I going to pay off Joe? Joe is a third winner of the parlay contest. Oh, man, we're cranking now. It was just a two-teamer, though. AOD, hello. Morgan Spooner, hello. Would you let me in? I'm out of Miracle Whip. Wine time in the chat. That's it for the football here, I think. And Twisted said, yeah, in the South, it's all about Dukes. We're not belittling Dukes. It's big time. That's some big time Mayo. Terrell is exactly right on this. If you wanted to, the handicap has pretty much been about the opt outs. And that's, that may be where, and I've been on it. I mean, not on it, but I mean, I've had the storyline right in some of them, and I've still taken the other team, kind of thinking that even last night it happened. It happened to me there too. I thought that we would see a competitive game there, and look, they were able to get the first touchdown there. Talking about, of course, Duke, not Duke's Mayo, but the Duke Blue Devils yesterday. They got a pretty decent start, but all right. I think that's it from you guys and for the bowl games today. So enjoy two more games today. Tomorrow, two NFL, an early bowl game, and then Sunday, the last day of the regular season. And we've seen, crazy moves there. Certainly this week, talk about moves, and I don't know, call them opt outs in the NFL, but I think there's definitely some ways to look at it. All right. That's it for that. Let's go to the NBA and take a look at our card here today with 9 games. Here, all pretty decent ones, it looks like. Let's get right into it with you guys. Won't keep you too long here, I think, with this card today, but we do have quite a bit of NBA to discuss. And we'll start it off here with the Charlotte Hornets taking on the Detroit Pistons. We've seen a move here over the last few minutes. Interestingly enough, the Hornets took the early steam, but this one's moved up already here to Pistons -7. The total's up to 219 in this one. So this one needs an update for sure. 3 points off from when I hit these in last night or typed these in last night. So let's get into it here with this one. Not an awful matchup for bad teams and a big spread here, but man, look at that line with the. Oops, I'm sorry, I did type it in wrong. It's 7, not 9, but nonetheless, Pistons get a lot of respect here against the Hornets, and Pistons have done a nice job here. They're 15-18, but we've seen Jaden Ivey go down the other day. You guys were mentioning it in the chat, and I almost feel like because we kind of touch on news as we can, but I missed that for some reason, and then only saw it after you guys had mentioned it, and I was already on the show, but they kept showing the replay of it that when Ivey broke his fibula the other night. So bummer break here for Detroit. A good player. Ivy here injured. Now LaMelo Ball is questionable. I think that looking at this move, it feels like to me that maybe Ball doesn't make this lineup today. Maybe that's where we're getting the move here. But Brandon Miller still questionable. It does feel like the Hornets do have some injury woes coming into this game. So maybe we take a look at some of the numbers here and see if anything stands up. But I don't know. Like I said, it balls out, but the total is definitely moved up by 3 points here. So kind of thinking like, what is the move all about? Let me know in the chat what you guys think here. With the Hornets and the Pistons, you have Charlotte coming in here on an 8-game losing streak right now. The home team's covered 4 straight meetings between these frequent opponents, but Charlotte in a bit of a funk here, no doubt about it. They were able to get the number against OKC the other night, but not against the Bulls. So for the Pistons here, they've been playing pretty well. I think that's what we're seeing also with some of the moves. Here's a hockey move coming in, though, right now. I want to mention Pittsburgh and Florida. We're seeing some steam here on the under in this one. Pittsburgh and Florida hasn't necessarily played a bunch of unders here, but no doubt there's steam coming in. It was already heavily juiced 6.5 to the under. In fact, there may have been mostly 6 overs out there, but we're seeing a move here to the under with Pittsburgh and Florida. And then right behind it, some sharp thinks they're got it going on with Chicago State, America's worst team, it feels like, or worst program here. It was 10.5. It might be down to 9.5 here. Good luck to Chicago State sharp here today. They are taking on Wagner. Maybe this is a matchup they can hang in by double digits, but Chicago State taking steam here right now against Wagner. Good luck. All right. And I was talking trash about Lane Kiffin yesterday after the first series when he lined up saying, what are they doing? Ole Miss isn't going to be able to compete in this game playing their 350-pound wide receiver out there. Then they put him in the backfield, throwing option passes on the first series of the game with a fullback, but they settled down and were much the best in the game. But I was giving them a hard time for that terrible. It's a bowl game, so they were out there having fun, but then they exerted their dominance. So, okay, let's see how you guys want to do it. 7 of the last 8 meetings between these two teams have gone under. And like I said, these are two teams that, they've definitely played some unders here this year. So, the trends seem to say under, but the move is on the over here in this one with Charlotte and Detroit. Let's see what you guys want to do here. 6 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams here in Detroit have gone under as part of that trend, and Charlotte's gone under in 5 straight games. So Let's see. Hello to Ron Young. Ron, thank you for your support also, and then we'll get them today. Really appreciate it. And let's see here. You guys talking about freight shipping there in the chat. I'm ready to go on some freight shipping talk here. Pistons and over here for Robert. I always thought there was one driver. I thought he purposely would slam on his brakes to make my pack have some damage, and the guy didn't like me. And all right, over here for Elliot. He likes the move. Okay, Irish King says Detroit first quarter and first half. Nasty Nate likes the Pistons in the second quarter today. Fernando's on the over. And hello, thank you to Barry Roselle. Really appreciate you, my friend. Thank you so much for your support, Barry, here on the channel. And Morgan talking about that Ohio State and Michigan State game. Yeah, that move on Ohio State, right? Morgan, how about that? Twisted, let's show his picks. Thank you, Twisted. See ya. Have a great day. Raptors, Rockets, Spurs, and Grizzlies. Thank you, Twisted, for stopping by today. Real good to have you. I'm on here with the Pistons and the Hornets. I've got to try the Hornets in this one, plus those. I know it's been bad here, but I'm going with Charlotte plus the points today. Matchup with the Pistons. The line's gone up here. To 7, and yeah, Charlotte hasn't looked too good for sure right now with this losing streak, but maybe they can handle this one against the Pistons today. Charlotte, a dismal 7-25 right now. Okay, thank you. Philly Eagle Flyers got some plays on X. Thomas will take Charlotte with me. Jermaine might have some props here with LaMelo. Should he make the lineup again? That's why I'm taking Charlotte with the free play here. Look, I want LaMelo to be in there. I'm not going to play it probably for a premium unless we knew with him. But it's baked into the line, or is it? Like I said, at 7 points now, you wonder if it's about him not making the lineup today. Okay, not the best game of the group, but nonetheless, we'll go to the Raptors hosting that game wasn't the best game of the group. This one's also not that great, right? Because the Raptors here having their own struggles in Orlando on the road in this one. Now the Raptors have had the better of this series for sure, but the Raptors are also in a bad way. But at least they're coming off of a win over Brooklyn, 130-113 at home to stop a losing streak of their own. Coming into this one, Toronto's 12-5-1 against the spread at home this season, and they're also 19-10-2 as an underdog. Now, I will say this: the Magic are favored right now, but the sharp books have already moved here to a pick'em. The total has gone up here to 216.5. In this one, you have the Raptors 12-6 to the over at home this season. It's the Raptors that kind of have the over trends, it feels like, coming into this game. Toronto's actually won 9 of the last 11 meetings between these two teams, but Orlando has won 5 of the last 6. So Toronto's won 9 of the last 11 meetings at home. These are pretty, semi-frequent opponents here for sure, but Orlando's actually won 5 of the last 6. Now, those are mostly at home too, but Orlando has covered 5 of the last 6 games between these two teams. Now, like I said, Toronto, they've been a moneymaker here this season, especially mostly at home. Steam here coming in right now in an NFL game. We already know we expect Josh Allen to be in there at least at the beginning of the game to extend his streak of starts. I don't know if that news is changing, but The under is getting steamed here right now with New England and Buffalo. Under 38 is going to be 37 or lower here right now with Buffalo and New England seeing a move here to the under right now in that one. All right, go ahead if you want with Orlando and Toronto here. Toronto's lost 11 of 12 coming into this one. They're not covering either here at this point. Although, like I said, here's the interesting thing about it with this, poor streak of Orlando right now. They failed to cover in 4 straight games, and they are just 7-11 against the spread on the road. But if they are still a favorite, they are 14-7 against the spread as a favorite. Now, usually they're a favorite at home, but like I said, the sharp books have already moved to a pick'em here in this one. So Toronto's a long-term over for sure. They're 12-6 to the over at home so far this season, and they've gone over in 16 of their 23 home games dating back to last year. Orlando's covered 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams. Like I said, Toronto's lost 11 of their last 12 games coming in. That last game obviously ended that long losing streak. All right, see what you have here in this one, Orlando and Toronto. Here in this one. And Elliot says Raptors have lost their last 3 games to the Magic. And Thomas says Orlando a little bit more consistent here right now. And like I say, we all know what a great job they've done despite the injury bug here a little bit for Orlando. Anthony Black is also here. Like he's going to be questionable in this game. Gary Harris is out of this game for Orlando as well. But we saw RJ Barrett. He was in, he was out, he's questionable. I think he might make this lineup here today. Bruce Brown is probable here. I'm going to take the over with Orlando and Toronto. You see that move there a little bit, right? What is it? A 1.5 move or so to the over. Maybe it's even gone up maybe 2 points or so from the original open. So, all right, here with Toronto and over here for Robert. And Cash Kane says, you know what, maybe we're going to see some weather up there in the Northeast. That also an obvious conclusion there with that move. I really appreciate that. Don't forget about that possibility, no doubt. See James, hello in the chat. Cash Kane says he's going to try the Magic here in this one. And Thomas says, didn't these guys just play the other day? It was about, let me see here. No, this is actually the first meeting of the season between these two teams, according to my information here. So I've got the over here in this one. To me, it feels mostly like Toronto's contribution here, if you will, as far as making this one an over tonight. So, okay, let's continue to move on here. And get to the next game. Thank you guys for being patient here with me. Okay. Looks like Jermaine says snow there in Philly. Thomas is outside. It looks like weather. He's also there. He's Ohio. All right. Let's move on to a good game here, fans, with the Knicks and the Thunder in this one. The Knicks come in 24-10. The Thunder 28-5. Something has to give tonight. Both teams are on pretty solid winning streaks here right now. No doubt about it with the Thunder at home, favored by 5.5. And the total here is currently at 222, maybe even 222.5. Room 222. The spread here has actually taken a dip. The move is on the Knicks here now, showing maybe mostly 4.5s. And I'll put 222 because I like to say room 222, but no, I think it is 222 pretty much all over. This one opened much lower at around 220 or so. I say much lower, but uh, uh, last 5 meetings between these two teams have gone over here, and we're seeing that slight move to the over here in this one. Oklahoma City's winning streak is 8 games right now coming in. They seem unstoppable here at this point, covering numbers too. They won and covered against the Clippers. They won and covered against the Grizz. They won and covered against Memphis. They failed to cover against Charlotte, laying 14 points, but they still won by 12, and they covered before that against Indiana. Oklahoma City, right there among the best, maybe the best spread team right now, 22, 11, and 1. They've been favored in every game this season. The Knicks are 6-3-1 against the spread in their last 10 games, and they are 2-1 as an underdog against the spread so far this season. The Knicks have been getting their numbers as well. They covered against Utah laying 12. They covered against Washington when they beat them by 20. They did fail as a 13-point favorite against Washington. That was a 2-game and 3-night scenario, but they beat up on Orlando. They did fail to cover at home against the Spurs, but the Spurs are a cover monster right now as well. So New York has covered 5 straight times against teams playing on a back-to-back. We saw Orlando, of course. I'm sorry. We saw the Thunder last night in their game, obviously, against the Clippers. We had them here on the show. We had the under. We were zeroed in on that game for sure. So let's see what you guys have in this one with the Knicks taking on the Thunder here tonight. All right. The Knicks have been winning on the road here big time. Here comes steam on Memphis right now. I just want to mention it because we're going to get there in a bit. But steam coming in here on Memphis against the Kings. Steam already had come in on that game on the over. Here it was Sacramento 4, but it's going to be down to 3 here or lower right now. Memphis is taking steam right now against the Kings. The line is down to 3 at Bet Online, and here comes the 3.5s should disappear. That one did open around 5.5 at some spots, mostly 4s elsewhere, but the move is on Memphis right now in that one. Okay, let me get to the picks here with the Knicks and the Thunder, and let's start it off with. See, James says snow in Pittsburgh. It's only 42 degrees here in Vegas. Cash Kane starts us off. He wants the Knicks. Sancho's on the Knicks. Thomas is on the Knicks. This might be headed for. Well, Jermaine says bad spot, but he likes OKC. But here's Robert, makes it 4-1 Knicks on the consensus play possibility here. Elliot says the Knicks are overwhelming, taking the money here in this 90% of the money on the over. Oh, on the over here. Big time over money here. And let's see here. Maybe that's it from you guys. Oh, Terrell says he'll try just OKC on the money line here. And Jermaine says this is OKC's day. They love Fridays. And still think it's cool, right? At the end of those post games when the whole team, and no other team does that. All the team gathers around the post game interview star. That is a team with good chemistry, right? They're just a real good vibe in OKC. And imagine when they get one of their stars back. We're still a ways away from that, but and Knicks will cover, says Irish King. Robert Franklin says he does like the Thunder here. Jake on the over, Robert on the over here as well. And whoa, Thomas says the Knicks are a consensus here in this one. Wow. I counted more OKC plays there, but Thomas says the Knicks were the consensus play. How about that? All right, here's another OKC from Kelly. Nice to see Kelly. I saw Kelly's X handle, I think, if I'm not mistaken, came across my time. I don't know why I'm not following Kelly. All right. Dow Thomas says no consent. I don't know what's going on here. Let me start again. Let's see if we can. Maybe it's not a consensus because there are some Knicks supporters, but I'll go over it again here and see if we can't. Here's Cash Kane on the Knicks. Oh, yeah, you're right. They were all Knicks. You're right, Thomas. Yep, you guys are mostly Knicks. Okay. It was just Jermaine with OKC. I was reading it wrong. That's all. Okay. No, I think it might be Knicks for sure. Terrell was OKC money line. It definitely was not a majority OKC, that's for sure. I just, for some reason, an Irish King, Knicks. Thomas will go alternate spread. He might lay a couple of points with the Knicks. So, okay. Now I don't know what. Now I don't know. Now I don't know what's going on. Jermaine says overpriced Knicks. Elliot says there was more OKC. All right. Redbeard here today. Great job in the chat yesterday, Redbeard. He's on OKC in the over. Jermaine's got too much porn on his Twitter. Yeah, X is not the place, I don't think, for the adult content. I'm on Fansly. I don't do OnlyFans. I'm on Fansly. So that's a better. No, I'm not, but. All right. All right. I guess I'm going to take the over in this game. It's already gone up here to 222, and I'm going to try the over in this one with the Knicks and the Thunder today. But I see you, fam. Maybe it isn't a consensus. I don't know what we're doing, but there's definitely a lot of support for the Knicks in the chat. Team Cat Whisperer here today taking the Knicks. Thank you, Team Cat Whisperer. So, okay, plenty of Knicks in the chat, no doubt about it. Let's get to another hot game here for sure. Where is Nate? Is he taking the Celtics? Has he learned his lesson? He'll never go against these Celtics. But again, we're in the situation where the Celtics, and we saw the news there yesterday with Jaylen Brown, missing the game there yesterday. So we'll see what's going on today. Take a look at the injury report here, but Brown missed that game. Timberwolves, it came down to the wire for sure. Pretty sure that the most everyone on the Timberwolves got the money there. There was some that may have ended up with just plus 2.5, and that's kind of a bummer, but let's take a look here at this one with the Celtics and the Rockets. Again, the Celtics seem like they are so predictable in their roles. The situation here is Boston, coming off of a win. They've lost against the spread 10 straight times, coming off of a win. And here we are again with this one, and you're going up against I don't know what you'd call them, but you got to say the Houston Rockets are a top level, an A-level team, A- at worst, here at 21-11. They've lost 2 of their last 3 games. Maybe they've had it light on the schedule a little bit, but nonetheless, they just came off of a clubbing of Dallas, getting the money here. They did lose at home to Miami and Minnesota, but it's been Houston, the better spread team for sure. 11-6 against the spread at home, 5-3 against the spread as a dog. Meanwhile, Boston just 13-18-2 as a favorite. And 0-10, last 10 coming off of a win against the spread. Boston's also gone over in 4 of their last 5 games. This has been an under series between the two teams, although they meet just twice a year. Boston has won 7 of the last 8 meetings between these two teams, and the under has come in 6 of the last 7 games between the two, including 4 of the last 5 games here in Houston. So what you're going to do here with Boston and Houston? Boston's just 5-10 to the under on the road this season. Let's go to the chat, see what you guys have with this great game tonight, the Celtics and the Rockets. Right now I'm showing 2.5, 220.5. Jaylen Brown, questionable. Kristaps, questionable. Amen Thompson still serving his suspension. Tari Eason, he's out. I'm wondering if he is not having a more serious problem here. Thought I was going to do the research on that and I forgot, but see what you guys have in the chat here. Boston and Houston. Rockets. Cash Kane on the Rockets. And Nasty Nate says they'll get it done again. Boston owns the second quarter. Here's Robert says Rockets and under in this one. And Elliot's on the Celtics here. Jermaine's got some prop action tonight with Fred VanVleet. As long as he doesn't get ejected for bumping into the referee and plays the whole game. Sancho says, what's the play in the game? I think he's talking to the chat. I don't know if he's talking to me, but my play here is on the over, actually, in this one with Boston and the Rockets. Yeah, the trends are, I think, pointing to the under here. These two teams aren't putting together a ton of overs for sure this season, but I'm taking the over in this one. It's, like I said, a 220.5 here right now. Here's Cash Kane on the under. And Elliott says that Boston's covered this spread here in the last couple of games. And they did do a good job. Yeah, Sancho, I thought they did play well. I thought that Minnesota also did a great job coming back. It was definitely a good game there last night. Jermaine says, you know what? Some people may have covered with Boston for sure last night. Mostly 3.5s. Maybe there were 3s. Again, we gave it out. I think we actually ended up talking about it on the show here with I think at the time, right, the move had already kind of come in on Boston. We were on the show. The line was even higher. I think it was it 4 on the show yesterday? Got to pass this one along right now with a steam play coming in here on a game that we've already mentioned and that I recommended the over. Orlando and Toronto. Steam is coming in on the over right now, and this one's going to go up to 217.5 here, it looks like, with a move here. Orlando and Toronto. Steam here to the over right now. All right, we're going to continue on, though, with this Boston game. We're almost done, it feels like. Sancho says it's hard to fade Boston, but Houston seems like the play. Like I said, I'm not missing on Boston here a little bit. And Jermaine said right there, right, maybe it hasn't been too smooth defensively here of late. Boston and over for Jake. And yeah, Barry said he had Minnesota plus 4.5 as well, right? I think when we sent out the pick too, the line was higher, but there definitely was 2.5s. There were Boston winners yesterday on the spread for sure, but we got it out early enough, and on the show, like I said, it was higher at the time. All right, give me the over in this one with Boston and Houston. So if I know what Boston does, I'm saving it for my premium. All right, let's get it moving here right now with our next matchup. And they're not all great. I guess I lied, but we do going over on a schedule like today. We'll talk about them all here at this point. Pelicans and the Wizards, and uh, the Pelicans are the 7 or 6.5 point favorites here. I guess maybe Zion coming back in shape. Ingram returning to the line. No, no, they're not returning to the lineup here in this one. Now, Jose Alvarado, I think we're going to finally get him back in the lineup here for the Pelicans. So maybe there's a little bit to be said for Alvarado, who's missed some time here of late. Uh, for the Wizards, they're both on kind of bad streaks here, but the Pelicans are the one with the losing streak right now. Washington actually is coming off of a win here last game, beating the Bulls at home 125-107. They've actually won two of their last four. The losses were to the Knicks, and they still got the money in one of those games against the Knicks. So Washington's covered a few games here. Of late, the Pelicans are 1-5 against the spread as a favorite. I guess if Washington wasn't so bad, I don't like to use bad teams as a premium pick. You'd think I'd just go with any team, as many games as I picked yesterday. But I'm going to take the Wizards on the show just because it's a little tough to want to give out the Wizards right on the picks service. Washington just 4-8-1 against the spread on the road, but they've got a few numbers here of late, and Pelicans, they're in a funk here. Could we see? We saw. I'll mention it right now because this might be the only spot to get the Jimmy Butler coverage in. But I guess the Wizards were maybe one of the target spots for Butler, but more so it feels like he needs to go to a contender. Phoenix seems like a possibility. Dallas seems like a possibility. The press conference was funny, right? They asked Butler if he could find any happiness returning at least to the lineup temporarily. He said, no, not really. He said the only way he's going to find happiness is to play on a team where he feels like he can feel more comfortable. So it does feel like the end for the emo man himself, Jimmy Butler. With Washington just mentioning it could be one of the destinations. Maybe they could pair him up with Kuzma. Now that looks like Kuzma's avoided getting dealt here. Washington's in a bad way. It just doesn't feel like the right situation. But out of the bad teams, it feels like that was one of the speculative teams for Butler to go to. Anyway, Steam came in on the under in this game. New Orleans has been an over for sure with their poor defense, 11-6-1 to the over at home. For Washington, they've actually covered the spread in 13 of the last 17 meetings here in New Orleans. Now, that's a pretty long sample size for sure. Steam coming in right now, gang. Montreal Canadiens, they were $1.20 on the opener. They're up to $1.40 here. They are one of the most popular plays today among handicappers. Steam on the Montreal Canadiens here, man, $1.40 on the road against the Blackhawks. Blackhawks are definitely struggling. The numbers on that, the television numbers on that outdoor game were among the worst ever for the NHL outdoor game. We'll get there to the NHL, but let's continue on here with this one. 4 of the last 5 meetings between Washington and New Orleans has gone over. New Orleans has actually gone over in 5 straight games. New Orleans has actually won 5 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams here in New Orleans. New Orleans has gone just 2-13 in their last 15 games as a favorite. We mentioned their poor record this year, but that also continues on from last season as well. So I'm going to try Washington here, plus the points. It's the Pelicans on a losing streak, and Washington has had a few moments here of late. They got to win some games on the road. Washington's 1-12 straight up on the road so far. New Orleans just 4-14 straight up at home. They're 1-15 on the road. So bad game. I'll take the Wizards. Probably talk too long about this one. Started off, though, with Robert on the – maybe this is the best game to bet. Jake maybe over and pass. And look at this. The Pelicans can't cover any spreads here. Right? Pelicans playing a little bit better here. Little bit better here. I don't know how much better. They did cover against the Clippers the other night, but lost to Miami on New Year's night. You know what they say? New Year's night belongs to the NBA. Some props here for Jermaine. Wizards for Redbeard. Johnny Walker says this might be the shot to take Wizards money line. Robert Franklin on the Wizards here. Could the Wizards end up being a consensus play? I like that. Robert says they can't be favored by 7 over anybody here. All right. Jermaine says that right, Jermaine, we almost want Jimmy Butler to stay on Miami so we could fade him a little bit. Could you imagine Jimmy Butler? He takes, 11 or 12 shots? There it is right there. Sancho says, so obvious he was going 30%, passing up wide open shots, right? Why put a guy in there when he's trying to make a point, passing up? He shot, 11 or 12 shots in the last 2 games? This is Jimmy Butler. So he's just being a dick. And, for Spoelstra, I don't know what the end game is and to leave him in the game or whatever was going on there, right? Twisted's got a little money line. Maybe that's a parlay. And we'll do it. Let's do it. Let's put a team like Washington in there as a consensus play. It looks like we're all on it. Too many points here. Pelicans are awful. Washington's awful. Not proud of it, but we'll take it here. The consensus plays on the Wizards. All right. There's a much better game here right now. Bummer with no Luka here at this point, but the Cavs, man, continue their roll right now with a winning streak still here coming into this one. 8 straight wins for the Cavs. This has always been a road team series between these two teams. 7 of the last 8 meetings have gone over here. Cleveland's gone over in 6 of their last 7 games overall, and they've covered the spread in 6 of their last 7 games as well. Dallas has gone under in 4 of their last 5 games here at home. The steam, however, came in on the over here in this one. We know the Cavs have been the much better coverer here this season. They've actually covered 3 straight in addition to all those wins. Cavaliers 11-4 against the spread on the road. Dallas 9-6 against the spread at home. But man, the Cavs are just unstoppable, it feels like right now. And yes, no Luka still here for Dallas. So 7-point spread here in this one. Sam Merrill doubtful for Cleveland in this one. And see what you guys have here in the chat with the Cavs and the Mavs. Cavs and Mavs. How about that? All right. Here we go. Let's see. Cash Kane. Maybe he's on the Mavs here. And Elliott says take the Cavs here in this one. Continue to lay it. Feels like it's high, but they're just rolling here right now. Robert on the Cavs and over. Jake's on the Cavs and under here. You can look at these two teams. Cleveland, 21-11 to the over this season, 20-9 to the over as a favorite. Even though Dallas has been an under team at home at 5-10 to the under, and they've been going under, like I said, of late here for sure. They are 9-5 to the over as an underdog. To the over. Yeah, to the over as an underdog. Make sure I said that right. Elliott says heavy money on the Cavs money line here. Thomas on the Cavs. And Thomas says the consensus plays. Oh, Texas State was a consensus play. Yes, that's right. Let me make sure. There, I didn't know we did that one. Mark that down. Oh, yeah, no, I remember now. We did do that one, and I said, okay, I'll do it too. Right. Oh, also, the New York Knicks were a consensus. Okay, thank you, Thomas. Appreciate that. And the Ann Taylor Hornets, of course, everyone. Come on, the Ann Taylor Hornets. I like to tease Thomas when his phone doesn't hear him correctly. You know the Ann Taylor Hornets. Uh, let's see here. He corrected it. All right. Cleveland. So maybe they're Robert on Cleveland. You guys are on Cleveland here too. This might be another one here. In this one, I'm going to roll with you guys here and take Cleveland in this game. This one feels I'm more interested in the total here, so I'm going to have to pivot here. And if I'm going to take it, I'm going to take Cleveland and continue this roll. They just seem unstoppable. But Dallas. Look, I'm not faulting them right now without Luka in the lineup. They had their moment against Phoenix, but since then they've failed to cover in 3 straight losses here. They were all on the road now, to be fair. They're returning home. Maybe they could be. They're still, to me, a pretty solid team here. But I'll try Cleveland one more time. I'll have to do it as a free play here. I'm showing some 7.5s out there right now, and mostly 7s here. Thomas says this is a consensus play here today. So, all right, I'm on them. You're on them. We're on them here with Cleveland, our 4th team in the textiles. Hello. Kane says he's on them too. And he says the Mavs have been fools. Well, look, Luka out. Still, Cavs have had some success covering the spread there. Okay, let's keep it moving here right now with the Spurs and the Nuggets. Another nice game here, it feels like. Yeah, Spurs are just 500. Nuggets have now moved to 19-13. They're on a 3-game winning streak. The thing about the Spurs is they're just covering left and right. Win or lose, doesn't matter. They're getting the money. They actually covered as a favorite last time out against the Clippers. So they rocked them by 36 points in the last game. They covered on the road at Minnesota. They covered on the road in a win against Brooklyn. They covered on the road against the Knicks in a loss. They covered on the road. The Spurs are just covering spreads left and right here right now. They are just 8-6 against the spread on the road, but Denver 8-14-1 against the spread as a favorite. They haven't been a great laying the number, but they've covered a few games here of late, 3 in a row for the Nuggets. They covered against Atlanta, covered against Utah, and covered against Detroit. So actually probably one of the best little runs here of the season for Denver in covering the spread. But the Spurs have just been terrific here. San Antonio, 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams have gone under when meeting here in Denver between these division opponents. Denver's won 10 of the last 11 meetings between these two teams, including 5 of the last 6 meetings here in Denver. Go to the chat, see what you guys have here in this one. San Antonio, usually against winning teams right now, they're not that good. They have only 2 wins in their last 26 games on the road against teams above 500. But again, this 7-game cover streak, Denver's gone over in 4 straight. These are, Denver 14-8-1 to the over as a favorite. San Antonio 8-5-1 to the over on the road. The steam came in on the over here in this one. It's all the way up to 238. Wow. I'm going to take the over here. I like the over. It's a little dirty for sure, it feels like, at 238, but it is going to be obviously a high-scoring game, but I'll try. I better update it. Actually, 238. Ooh, a little high, but I like the total too much. I'm going to have to go with I like the side too much here. So I'm going to have to go with the over. here in this one. Go to the chat, see what you guys have. We're almost done with our NBA picks. Here with Thomas. We'll start here with San Antonio. Robert Franklin, I think he had a play on Spider back on that last game here. Redbird on the Spurs. And here's Kyrie. Text says, don't forget, you got Kyrie. It wasn't every. I think every team is Kyrie's old team. Curtis is on the Nuggets here. Lay it. And hey, hello, good morning to Yulin Cueto here. He says the Nuggets have been going over. Does it end tonight? I'm going to go over, Yulin. Spurs here for Robert. Cash Kane will lay it in this one. Sanchez says, Wemby hits the props, but sometimes they're a little bit too jacked up. No doubt. Let me see here. We might have a little move here right now. Oh, no. Not something we're interested in here.
Critical notice.
Okay, I think that's going to do it from the chat. Jake's going to the game, and he says he'll take the Nuggets. He'll bet them for fun here today. Thank you, Jake. All right, I'm on the over in this one with San Antonio and Denver. Next up is the Grizzlies and the Kings here. Good game tonight. Memphis comes in 23-11. Yeah, the Kings are struggling for sure at 15-19, but they've won 2 in a row. Fired the coach. Got some wins here. Could the Kings turn it around here at this point? I mean, they're one of the worst spread teams in the league for sure at 11-21 to the number here so far this season. I'm showing the line down to 3.5, and the total is up to 240.5 right now. And talk about these high totals. Here's another one with the Grizzlies taking on the Kings here in this one. This is a series, though, that definitely goes under between these semi-frequent opponents. 7 of the last 8 meetings between the two teams have gone under between Memphis and Sacramento. Memphis has covered the spread in 5 of the last 6 meetings here in Sacramento. The steam came in on Memphis, like we said. That's what drove this line down from 4 to 3.5. Not a huge move here, and it is 3.5 pretty much everywhere. The Grizzlies have been just terrific against the spread. They're 23-10 against the spread. The Kings are 11-21 against the spread. That is about as diverse as you can get in difference between spread records at this point of the season with any two teams. It feels like the Memphis Grizzlies have gone over in 11 of their 16 road games so far this season. Let's go to the chat and see what you guys have in this one. Memphis is also they're an underdog here in this game. For some reason, believe it or not, type of scenario. Maybe this is a flat spot. Is it a trap? Here, I will say there are several injuries here right now. Marcus Smart is out of this game. Aldama is out of this game. Zach Edey is questionable in this game. Clark is questionable. LaRavi is questionable. So maybe that's part of it here, but Keegan Murray is doubtful for the Kings in this one. The one trouble spot that Memphis has had, but maybe it's different. Maybe they're better now this year here. They're, certainly playing well despite the injury or the in and out here of Morant out of the lineup, in and out here, and missing time now here extensively. But Memphis, they've won 14 straight games against teams under 500. We know the Kings are definitely under 500 right now. And Sacramento here, the funny thing about it is, yes, they got a couple of covers here. They didn't even cover in that game against Philadelphia. It was a push. But before that, they were struggling here before the firing of Brown. So, a lot of criticism for firing Brown. We'll see if the Kings can shake it up a little bit. See what you guys have in the chat here in this one with Memphis and Sacramento. And here we go. Chat All Stars. And start off here with Robert McCormick. Here in this one, he says, take the Grizzlies. Oops. All right. Let's see here. Yeah, Curtis says, how about Jaws? No, he's out for. We don't really know his time. I don't think we really know his timetable right now with that shoulder injury. It feels like I think we're waiting for more news at this point. And that might be it from you guys here. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Malik Monk props for Jermaine. Johnny Walker does like the under here in this one. And Chase J. Hello, nice to have you. And I agree with Chase J here, talking about Triple J. He's talking about Bane. They are stars. I can't disagree with that. I think that's part of the, Morant is a great player. And, is he a total team player? Is the team better without him? I don't know if that's the case necessarily. But again, when he's been out, it feels like they haven't missed a beat. Credit the coaching staff, credit this team, credit this organization right now. They are just a monster, it feels like here at this point. So, all right, I guess I got to make the call on this one. And here's Cash Kane on the Kings, but here's Textiles on Memphis. And he also likes the under. And under for Curtis. I'm on the under. I think I see some unders in there. I like the under here in this one with Memphis and the Kings tonight. Chase J says if, DeRozan, he's a throwback. I think that's what he's saying. Maybe he's just, I want to say he's just another player. I mean, he's obviously a big-time star. I mean, he's a borderline. I would think when it's all said and done, I think DeMar DeRozan could be borderline Hall of Fame player. Does anybody have an opinion what I just said there? I don't think he'll make it, but certainly has a great career. And let's see here. That might be it from you guys in the chat for this one. I'll take the under here with Memphis and Sacramento. Next up, our final game of the night. Hey, we were on the Lakers yesterday here on the show, right? Despite no Davis yesterday, the Lakers looked pretty good with the man, Austin Reeves. Man, this guy feels like an all-star here at this point. The Lakers, good thing they've got a guy like Austin Reeves doing a great job here. They've got a star. Talk about stars, right? Austin Reeves. 3.5, 231 here at this point. Lakers here coming off that win last night. They're on the back-to-back for sure. But you also have Atlanta here coming off of a loss. Their winning streak was ended on New Year's night when they took on the Nuggets and lost by 19 points. But hey, Lakers 9-7 against the spread at home here. This is a series that's gone over for the most part when these two teams meet twice a year. 5 straight meetings between these two teams have gone over. 4 of the last 5 meetings here in LA between these two teams have gone over. Lakers have beaten the Hawks in 7 of the last 8 meetings between the two teams here in Los Angeles. That'd be 7 of the last 8 years here in the series. Los Angeles here, let's see, 7 straight meetings between these two teams have gone over. Atlanta's 23-11 to the over this season. Lakers maybe trend under barely, I guess you could say, but let's see. Atlanta was red hot, no doubt about it. And they've, I don't know about turning their season around, but they're 2 games over 500 now after that winning streak. But the one key for Atlanta here, they did lose last game on the road in that matchup against Denver. This is the third game of the road trip. One thing Atlanta's always had a problem with is the depth of their team. When it gets on the road, they start to fade and fade and fade, and they've failed to cover the spread in 12 of their last 13 games when coming in off of a loss. So see what you guys want to do here in this one with Lakers and Atlanta. Lakers have won and covered 3 of their last 4 games overall. These two teams met about a month ago. It was 134 to 132. Atlanta got the win at home, but the Lakers got the money in that one. See what you guys got here with Atlanta and the Lakers. Started off with thank you for your comments there on DeRozan, right? And that combo in Toronto, they were terrific. I mean, Lowry, the same thing, of the borderline Hall of Fame, right? If you think about it. Hawks cover says Curtis in this one. And Thomas says give him the Lakers. The back-to-back, I mean, that's the issue here. And, I mean, I guess with the Lakers, I guess we should at least peek at the injury report, right? It does feel like, yes, Davis did miss the last game with an ankle injury. And we're not going to make fun of Anthony Davis, you guys. It was the second game he's missed, right, all season? Or was it the first? First or second game, I think he's missed all season long. So I would expect him maybe to be in the lineup here tonight. He's listed as questionable here currently. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, Trae Young, he's questionable with a hand injury. Jalen Johnson questionable. Bogdanovich questionable here. It's hard when Lakers don't feel like the team you want on a back-to-back, right? And Curtis says LeBron worked hard last night. And, hey, it was good news, right? To see LeBron's other son get a, he's going to go to Arizona for his college career, Bryce James. And the one thing about Bryce, he's even not as good as Bronny, for whatever that's worth. But even though Bryce, he's probably like a 6 or 7 point per game scorer in AAU. I mean, I kind of keep up on this stuff. But you know what the key is here for Arizona, getting Bryce James and his 7 points per game in AAU ball? He's not the best AAU player, but they know the James family knows a lot of AAU players. So you bring Bryce into Arizona, and maybe Arizona can wrap up a few more recruits with Bryce James on that team. I guarantee you, actually. All right, here's Hawks, but got to watch to see if Trey's in there. Yeah, thank you. Jermaine's got a bunch of props here, it looks like. Austin Reeves missed some props here, huh, yesterday? How about that? He played very, very well, right? He was looking strong out there. Kane says the Hawks will be in this one. Robert's on the under here today. And I think that might be it. I'm taking the Lakers here, gang, in this one with the Hawks tonight. Yeah, I'm gonna do it as my free pick here. Lakers on the back-to-back doesn't really feel that comfortable, but Atlanta, like I said, they are the ones that feel like on the road it's a disaster after a few games here, and we'll see if Young makes the lineup. So I'm going to actually take the Lakers here and lay the points again. We had them last night, and they got it done, and we had the under last night in that game. So I feel like I got the Lakers a handle on them a little bit. Okay, LAL money line for Johnny Walker. Thank you, guys. Chase went with the Lakers. I think I said that. Good to have Chase here in the chat. Okay, next up. Oh, that's it. That's it. Thank you, guys. I like this NBA card. I don't think I'm going to go every game like I did yesterday, but we did go 4-2. I needed those wins yesterday with my best picks. So we'll take it. All right. Hockey action today. 5 games on the 5 games on the ice here tonight. Let's get rolling with you guys here and let's talk about the NHL. Here we go. Started off with the Penguins on the road against the Panthers, with Panthers here a big $2 favorite in this one against the Pens. Here you got top level team in the Panthers for sure right now, 23-14. Penguins are at 500 here right now. Panthers have actually lost 3 of their last 4 games coming in to this one, but still going to be a big favorite, of course, in this matchup with the Penguins here tonight. Let me get the goalies ready here a little bit and see what we can do here. Check who's confirmed, who's in, who's out. We did see some goalie news last night here real quick before we get started, right? We saw Wedgwood knocked out of the game for Colorado. Didn't look good. Maybe some type of a debilitating injury that could keep him out of the lineup for a while. So we'll see more Blackwood in there, the young star for Colorado. And what was the other one? We were on the air last night, and I was talking about some of the goalie, my man Thatcher Demko. He left the game with back spasms last night. Hopefully that'll be okay there, but awkward there in that game against Seattle last night. Vancouver, though, actually ended up getting the win there in that high-scoring game. So, all right. I don't show any goalies here on the card just yet here. So let's see what you guys maybe want to do in this. Well, let me at least call out some numbers here in this one, right? For Florida, they are just 11-8 at home this season. They're 12-6 on the road, but Pittsburgh just 10-20 as an underdog here this season. But interestingly, this is kind of a matchup that Pittsburgh has actually had a little bit of success in when taking on Florida, and maybe the price is a little high. I mean, Florida's been pretty awesome, but they are just 12-18 as a puck line favorite so far this season. Now, Pittsburgh's not anything special on the puck line, it feels like, but in this matchup, they've done a nice job. So one college basketball move here coming in just to keep the flow going here. Fairfield and Merrimack seeing some steam here to the over, and the top game on the board. That is a noontime start on the West Coast here, but 3 o'clock on the East Coast. Steam to the over here was 138, now 139 with Fairfield and Merrimack. All right, so talking about Pittsburgh here, they've covered the puck line in 11 of their last 16 games overall. 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams here in Florida have gone under, and this is with two teams that are kind of over teams. Pittsburgh's into the over team. They've gone 22-16 to the over, 11-8 to the over on the road, but Florida's gone under in 6 of their last 7 games at home right now. And this series, like I said, it's a bit of an under series here for sure. You look at Pittsburgh, though, for me, it just feels like they're playing well. Let me see look at some of these games they've won here of late. They beat the Islanders as an underdog the other night in revenge for a road loss to them. And they beat Philadelphia 7-3 at home. They've still lost a few here of late, but I'm going to end up trying the Penguins here on the puck line as my play. Give them Jimmy plus the 1.5 here. Florida has not had a lot of success here on the puck line, it feels like, of late. They did cover against the Rangers for sure, and against the Lightning. They actually covered the puck line in each of their last 2 wins. But again, 12 and 18 is a puck line favorite. So I'll take the Penguins in this one, plus a goal and a half. Man, Chase, that makes me feel terrific. This show has, well, I say it's been a life changer to a certain extent. I didn't know necessarily what I was getting into when I joined the group over there at that other channel. As great a time as I had over there, and I miss it big time because those guys are great analysts over there too, and it was very credible to appear with them, with some of those guys. But being over here on the Sports Money Network, I mean, I get excited to get up every day and do this show a little bit. So awesome, Chase. That makes me feel really good. Made my day, brother. All right, next here we got Penguins puck line for Twisted. He's with me. Panthers first period for Philly Eagle Flyer. William Dryman is here. Talking a little hoop, but appreciate it still for sure. Jake on Pittsburgh a little bit here. Penguins puck line for Kane as well. And B. Will, nice to have you here. He says, do we do soccer? We have great, because of my interest in soccer, I don't break down too many games. I think other than the fact that the shows get kind of long with these other sports, but I think I do pay attention to soccer more than most of the YouTube cappers out there. But we've got, because I show so much interest, I think we kind of attract a lot of good soccer cappers in the chat. So there's always a good soccer discussion running, and we do preview when the action's slow. I'll kind of branch out and do some soccer previews and talk a little bit. We have some cards out that I send out on my VIP service. That's the free picks actually, but I rarely have any paid picks in soccer, but I do bet soccer a lot. Over here for Philly Eagle Flyer. So appreciate that, B. Will. And again, I think just the length of the show, but we have good soccer coverage here too with our group. And I will say this, we're going to expand the coverage, and we got some special things planned where you're going to see a little bit more soccer coverage from us here, from me actually. Won't necessarily be on the show, but we've got some things in the works with I just better leave it at that. Robert on the over here. I'll take the Penguins on the puck line. Thanks, B. Will. That's cool. Senators and Blues here in this one with the Blues, just $1.20 favorite here right now, and the total is 5.5 at over minus 120 or so in this one with the Blues, a slight favorite here. For 8 of the last. No, let me see here. Let me get this one straight for sure with these two teams. The Senators have been playing pretty well here of late, but now they've lost 3 of their last 4. Steam coming in right now, college basketball, Manhattan and Siena. Seeing some steam here to the under. Siena's been playing some unders in this roll, although these two teams have had some overs this year. I'll just leave it at that. Steam, though, to the under at 142 is now 141 here, Manhattan and Siena. It's St. Louis that has actually won 3 of their last 4 games coming into this one, but Ottawa's won 7 of their last 10. It's only the last 3 of 4 that they've lost. Remember, Ottawa had that winning streak. These two teams have been under teams, it feels like. Yawning here for the most part. Ottawa 6-12-2 to the under on the road. St. Louis as a favorite, they are 5-2 to the over, even though they've trended under for the most part this season. 5 straight meetings between these two teams here in St. Louis have gone under. Ottawa's covered the puck line in 5 of the last 7 meetings, but you'd have to lay $2 to get a puck and a half here with the Senators, who are playing pretty well before the couple of losses here, it feels like. St. Louis has covered the puck line in 4 of their last 5 games overall. Also, St. Louis, when favored here of late and coming in off of a road win, they have gone over in 8 of their last 9 games here. But I'm going to try Ottawa here in this one. St. Louis has had some struggles as a favorite here of late. Now, they did beat up on Chicago, but they lost to Buffalo as a favorite at home here before that. So give me Ottawa today in this one at probably even money or so against the Blues. And we'll see what you guys have here in this one. And Nunya! Congratulations, Nunya. So proud of you to get this important job. And man, if I could, make you my partner here on the morning steam or something and pay you as much as you're going to hopefully make in your new job, I think that is so. I'm stoked about it. I think, what I was going to suggest was if, there was any question, you could hand the phone here. You were probably watching the show because I know, man, that's awesome. He was watching, he might have been watching the show in the car waiting, right? So he gets in there and the guy says, well, Mr. Nunya, I'm not sure. You look qualified. You look very responsible, but what is it about you that could get this job? Tell me. And I would have said, hey, Nunya, hand him the phone. Hand him the phone. And then he hands him the phone, and then it's on YouTube, and the guy says, what is this? What is this guy? It's showing me a gambling show. And I would say, Nunya has been a chat viewer on YouTube streams and shows up consistently every day at the same time to give his picks and opinions, and he's very consistent. I don't know much about Nunya other than through my relationship, talking to him in the chat, having him visit my shows, but I can tell you, sir, that Nunya is a very consistent man who shows up every time on time. And I would have helped get Nunya the job, but he did not need my help. Congratulations to my Nunya. All right, Redbeard had the over there in the Ottawa game, I believe. And everyone congratulating Nunya. It's a great feeling to get a good job that you're looking for. And I know I've had a few jobs and I've been rejected for jobs too. We all have, right? But all right.
Final.
Senators money line here for Cash Kane. And we're going to see Nunya. He says this is going to motivate him to do more on screen. It's tough, right? I know what you're, Nunya, to be honest with you, right? I had the same kind of, and again, I've been doing these streams off and on, but I went off the grid a little bit for a while before I got hooked up with, and maybe a little bit with the pandemic there a little bit too. But, there was a time when between jobs a little bit where before I joined the group over there and I wasn't having a job there for a time. Yeah, I was out driving after the pandemic. I quit my poker dealing job. That was good money, man, but got a little stressful there, 60 hours a week in the pandemic. And I said, enough of this. They'd made some bank there for about 5 or 6 months. And I was like, I'm not feeling anymore after 15 years. And then I had trepidation and hesitation in my life. Maybe a midlife crisis or something. And it took away. I didn't want to go on the air or show my face a little bit. I was just driving the Uber Eats there for, about half a year, just, wondering what the next move was as we came out of the pandemic a little bit. So, and that's when I got hooked up. I was always trying to get with those guys over there at the other channels and never was accepted by them, even from the late Mr. Wilson, got turned down by him too, and then hooked up with them. And, it took some confidence. I'm older. So, All right. Hey, a little more steam in college basketball. I'm reporting right now with Marist and Iona. Steam to the under. All these MAAC games taking some action here right now. Marist has had a little bit of over situation, but under right now taking the steam with Marist and Iona. It was 134 down to 133. Marist and Iona under steam. All right. Yeah, right, oldie. Who is this guy? He's talking right to me. Mr. Boss Man? All right. Over for Jake.
Steam playing.
Here's some more steam right now. I want to pass along college basketball. Xavier in Georgetown. It was 149. It's down to 148. We're seeing some steam on the under here. We know Georgetown already got steamed in the game against Xavier, and here comes the under steam right now. Xavier in Georgetown. We're almost done with the show, actually, here, but what we're going to do here is, and let's see here. You have to finish these games off. Fear of rejection sounds like my social life. More steam. Man, the college baskets are heating up here. We should get to that. Finish this hockey here. How about this one with Wichita and Temple? This is a series, I think, that goes under for sure, but here comes the steam right now on the over at 153. It's going up to 154 here. Wichita and Temple steam to the over this morning on the Morning Steam Show. All right, I think we got to finish this game off. There's Chase, sends a super chat. Thank you, Chase. And in honor of Nunya here, but supports the channel too. Thank you.
System playing.
And all right, Nunya likes Georgetown in that game. Here we go. How about the crypto today? You guys, all the cryptos on blast off here today. All right, a couple more here in hockey. We got to get to these here. We've only gone through our 5 games so far. Here's that Canadians and Blackhawks game. We already talked about the move here on the Canadians today. You know, Canadians playing about as good as they have here. It feels like in a couple of years right now, 3-game winning streak right now, and they got a 500 team, and they've been covering puck lines everywhere you look. They've been underdogs in all these games, and the Canadians are just money here right now. They've only been favored twice this season. They won them both. We'll see if they keep that up here today. They are just 7-10 on the road. The Blackhawks have been more dismal than ever, it feels like right now. It's just total disaster, especially defensively. They're giving up close to more than 5 goals a game over the last couple of weeks here right now. It's just been a disaster, really, for the Blackhawks right now. Even Montreal's a road favorite against these guys. Atlanta's taking steam here right now, you guys, in the game against the Lakers. Look, I took the Lakers, but they're going to get a better line here. Atlanta's taking the steam. Maybe LeBron could be out tonight. Maybe Davis, but maybe LeBron, like you guys said, because the line is dipped here to 2.5, maybe even 2 minus 15 here at Circa. So definitely a move here, first half and full game on Atlanta right now. Here we may be getting some injury news, it feels like, here today with the game, and we'll see. Total hasn't moved yet, so could be Trae Young in the game for sure. Could be something like that, but steam is on Atlanta right now here on the Morning Steam Show. Okay, continue on here with Montreal taking on Chicago. Like I said, things have been going so bad that Montreal is a road favorite here. I mean, this is, has it happened at all this year? I don't know when they were favored in those 2 games. I didn't look that part of it up, but no doubt here about my Montreal Canadiens. Chicago struggling big time, but Canadians, not only are they winning games, but even when they're losing, they're covering. They've covered the puck line in 7 straight games overall. Now they are favored here, so just winning the game might be enough. Chicago's gone under in 7 straight games against the Habs when coming in off of a loss. Pretty solid trend there, it feels like. You got two teams, Montreal, those wins as a favorite, they both went under. So, you look at the situation here with Sam. He's definitely, playing well here. I mean, the Canadians have a goalie in Sam Montembeault, it feels like. Yeah, he's got a 3.0 goals against, and a 90% save percentage. But you know what? Throw a little extra support. Sam is definitely established as the solid goaltender here for the Canadians. Meanwhile, Mrazek, 7-14 record and 3.39 goals against average and an 89.5% save percentage. So I'm going to end up here in this one. I'm going to end up taking the total in this game. Give me the under here tonight. Despite those woes for the Blackhawks defensively here, Montreal's not an overwhelming team, it feels like. I'll try the under here at 6 goals. And the line here is that, man, DraftKings is like up to $1.50. Could you imagine Montreal, $1.50 favorite in the game? But probably going to take them. Give me the under, though, here in this one tonight. I don't know if the Blackhawks will give up 6 goals to Montreal necessarily, but they gave up 6 to St. Louis, 5 to Dallas, 6 to Buffalo, 4 to Minnesota, and 6 to Calgary. Montreal doesn't have that type of explosiveness necessarily, but they did get 5 against Tampa, 4 against Florida. I'll try the under, though, here tonight. I struggled yesterday where we're going so good on some of those hockey totals, but definitely took a loss yesterday. A couple plays from you guys in this one in the chat. And it's going to be Blackhawks for Kane. Jake likes the over in this one. Philly Eagle Flyer likes the Habs and their team total over. Robert likes the Habs here. Philly Eagle Flyer says, those draws just didn't quite come through yesterday. And Johnny liking the Canadians here, it looks like. Okay, a couple more here right now. The Ducks. Oops. Here we go. The Ducks are on the road against the Oilers here. And how about it? How about the Ducks last night? The win over the Jets. Oh, wow, that was another one where I just whiffed on that one. We took the Jets puck line, but we saw the steam, right? The steam was on Anaheim yesterday, and they were able to come through big time. The steam was on the over, and it went over, and I tried to buck that steam, even though you guys were saying in the chat, you got to pay attention to the steam, that we were talking about the Utah game, but hockey, you got to pay attention to the steam sometimes there, right, on the ice. So let's see here with Anaheim taking on the Oilers here in Edmonton tonight. The Ducks have won 3 straight games right now, looking pretty good, about as good as they can get. And look, the Ducks are 16-17. A lot of people have badmouthed this team. So how could a team that's close to 500 be a $4 favorite, $4 underdog in this game, as well as the Ducks have been playing here of late? Man, that does seem a little bit excessive here, but the Oilers have dominated, I think, here, if I'm not mistaken, this series. You take a look, Edmonton has won 8 straight games against Anaheim and covered the puck line in 7 of the last 8 games. Not to mention, the Oilers here have kind of turned it around here. And not that they were ever in need of turning it around, but remember, they had a funky start. Now they're 22-12, although they have lost 2 of their last 3 games, including this one to Anaheim just a week ago. And is it revenge here? I don't know, but it was at Anaheim, and the Ducks won it 5-3 as the Oilers got swept in their trip to Los Angeles, taking on the Kings and the Ducks. So let's see what you have in this one. Anaheim's gone under in 8 straight games as an underdog when coming off of a road win, and you have The Ducks 12 and 23 to the under so far this season. So you got to wonder here if they're going to get much, even though maybe they'll be competitive here. Edmonton's won 9 of their last 10 games at home. Overall, this series has actually gone over in 5 straight meetings, and 6 of the last 7 meetings between the two teams in Edmonton have gone over. But like I said, Anaheim, well, let's see what you got in this one, gang. With Ron Young likes the Oilers and the over here in this one. Philly Eagle Flyers, you know what? I can get behind this actually. A plus 2.5 here with Anaheim. I think that's what I want today. I'm going to take Anaheim plus 2.5 goals in this one. Look, I just think that price is just for an Anaheim team. They're basically just a 500 team. That's not terrible. And if anything, they're 8-6 on the road. Anaheim actually has a better record on the road than they do at home. Now, Edmonton's clicking here, no doubt. They feel like the best team in the league all of a sudden. Oilers here, minus 1.5 for Kane. Philly Eagle Flyer says, take the Ducks, money line, and team total over. Johnny Walker says, take the Oilers here, minus 2.5, I believe, in this one. And yeah, maybe the Ducks could say, hey, this has been a good run, but this is a tough game, no doubt. Philly Eagle Flyer leaning under. Robert likes the over here in this one. And Johnny Walker says also, how about Oilers first period with the extendo clip? And here is Cash Kane. He says, it's revenge for the Ducks. All right. It's going to do it for that one. We got one more game here tonight. Take a look at this one here with the Predators and the Canucks. In this one, you got the Predators favored here on the road, $1.30 or so. And the total here is, oh man, this one is actually up to $1.50 or higher here at this point. The Predators on the road. How about it? And the total here is 6 under 20 for the most part. I have 5.5 over 30 there on the screen, but maybe 6 under 25 or so might be a little bit more accurate for the matchup here with the Predators and the Canucks. Let's hear what you guys have to say in this one. 10 of the last 13 meetings between these two teams in Vancouver have gone over. Vancouver's been kind of an under, though, when it comes to being on the road here. Vancouver 18, 11, and 8 overall, but they've done most of their good work on the road. They did win last time out, however, a 4-3 win at Seattle. Before that, though, they had losses at Calgary. They lost to Seattle and were not getting any puck lines. Nashville's lost 3 straight by a combined score here of 15-7 here of late, but they are favored and taking action big time. It feels like this is the one where, usually you just got to figure the move is right. Just throw it out the window or something, I guess, here. They did take the steam at $1.30, $1.35, whatever it was. I'm going to just trust that these Sharps know what they're doing here, and I'm going to grab Nashville in this game. They took the widely reported steam. For whatever reason, Vancouver, they're better on the road than at home. They're 7-13 straight up at home this season. Nashville's actually 8-12 straight up on the road. Vancouver is 9-6 as an underdog, but again, they're winning games on the road often as underdogs. Nashville's not a good favorite. They're just 6-15. 8-13 as a favorite this season. Vancouver, 5-10 straight up as an underdog. All right, go ahead, gang, if you want to play this one. Let me know what you like here. between Nashville and Vancouver. Vancouver's not covering many puck lines, that's for sure, but they're going to be a $2 puck line plus money, if you know, plus the goal and a half now, if you know what I mean. So, all right, let me hear what you have. I'm going to go to the chat, and that's going to do it for hockey right now. Thank you for the comments, everybody. See what you got here in this one with Cash Kane likes, let me see here. Preds and over here for Philly Eagle Flyer. Cash Kane likes the Canucks in this one on the money line. Jake Dye. Nashville and under. Give me the Preds here in this one. That's it for hockey. Thank you, everybody, for that. Appreciate you guys here. We're going to cover a few basketball games here in college ball, and then that'll be it. Everyone who's entered their names, especially Stephanie there, eligible for the consensus drawing here to get the money. We have a 4-teamer, a 5-teamer, I think Thomas said. So Stephanie has entered in her name in the chat as well. Thank you. You can win. Make sure you have your Venmo ready, your Cash App ready, folks. Stephanie and group, when you win tonight. Where's Joe? I got to send him the money tonight. All right. Nunya's ready for that college basketball. Textile said Vancouver, played that game last night on the road against Seattle. They did win. Now they're coming home. Maybe that's what we've seen with the move on the Predators here. All right. Thomas was on the phone with his bookie. I was just saying, Thomas, nothing. You didn't miss anything. Didn't miss anything. I was just, if we had 4 or 5 plays on the consensus, I wasn't sure. All right. Here we go with our college basketball coverage. What happened last night? Our little totals streak came to an end here, so hopefully we get it right. Okay, 4 games it looks like. All right, let's go here right now and get it rolling here with the college basketball here in this one. Let's go to a good card here tonight. I'm going to go to Iowa and Wisconsin. In this one, you've got Wisconsin, a favorite here at home in this very nice Big Ten game. But let's see what happens. It's up to 6.5 here and 162.5. That is unprecedented for a Wisconsin game for sure. What the heck is going on here? Now, we know Wisconsin has totally changed their tempo, their style of play, it feels like this season, right? And not only that, you got an Iowa team here that's scoring a ton of points too. They're averaging a ton of points here so far this season. But you can't ignore this one. I don't know. I mean, look, maybe Wisconsin, maybe this is just the way it's going to be now with Wisconsin. Maybe this is a sign of the future. Maybe because you're playing a team against Iowa here. But you see the total here at 162. 55 of Wisconsin's last 58 games have been under 160 points. So now, look, I can't tell you that this is going to continue because you have Wisconsin scoring points at an unprecedented clip for them. They're a team that, that we know they've been slow it down in the years past, right? They're one of those teams that'll bog you down a little bit at home and slug it out. That's just the way it's been. But Guard has changed the complexion of the team. He's kind of graduated with the times here a little bit, or maybe he just has the personnel to do it. Now, look, maybe it's cost them a little bit because when they ended up playing good teams like Michigan, Marquette, and Illinois, they lost those games. And you're going up against an Iowa team here. Now, they are favored for sure. And I know the public is going to be chiming in here, it feels like, I always say the public, the handicappers to me are on Wisconsin here, unanimous. Both teams come in here 10-3 right now, but Wisconsin is just 3-5-1 against the spread as a favorite. But like I said, the Wisconsin games never go higher than this. 58 of the last, or 55 of the last 58 games at home have been under 160 points. Is that a big enough sample size, or is it all, does that not matter because this is new Wisconsin? And not only that, you have an Iowa team coming in here averaging what, 80, I don't know what it is. I'd have to look it up. I will look it up. It's got to be 86 points a game. It feels like maybe it's higher for Iowa. What is it? Iowa comes in averaging 89.7 points per game here right now. And Wisconsin's averaging 81 points per game. That's 160. That's 170 points, 171 points here. But maybe we're in conference play. These teams are going over for sure. Wisconsin's 10-3 to the over. Iowa 2-0 to the over as a dog. I'm going to say that maybe there's still a little bit to that trend. Maybe it'll be close. Maybe we'll get to 165. I've got to take the under here. Conference play, you better try to slow Iowa down. If you end up thinking you're going to outscore Iowa here at home, I'm sure that they could end up losing again in this one. And if they're going to win, they need to keep Iowa under 80 points in this game. I'm going to take the under. I'm going to go with 55-3 to the under in home games. Even though, and again, I hope I was clear, conference home games, by the way. So that is, that's like a 5-year sample of home games. And again, totally different complexion to these teams. I get it. But at least we're in conference play here now. Maybe there is something to that. Let's go to the chat, see if you guys are feeling the vibe. Maybe you guys want to go. Maybe you'll buck that trend here in this one. I don't think I could go. Seems like that'd be a stat that you'd get like premium pick, but I like the side better, I think. I like the side. I don't mind that total. I don't mind that trend. Wisconsin has gone over in 4 of the last 5 meetings with Iowa. They've gone over in the series. Iowa's gone over in 4 of their last 5 on the road. Wisconsin dominates this series for sure. They've won 15 of the last 18 games here at the Kohl Center over Iowa, and Wisconsin so far 7-1 at home. This is only Iowa's second true road game of the season. So, okay, gang, let's hear from you. And I think I've got 4 or 5 games here, and then the show's over. We're still, going a long ways on these shows, probably too long, but all right. Let's see here. Gonna go back here and get it started with Curtis here. Thank you, Curtis, if you're taking off. Thank you. Joe likes the over here. He likes the over. He says go over in this one. All right. Yeah, you knew this person was an idiot, huh? That same loser. Oh, man, I didn't mean to do that. All right. Okay, Joe, that's his team. We know that. And again, that's the same person, you guys, that was here on Monday. They just make a new account. You know how that goes. But they told me, the guys called me down, said, don't do it. Again, I was jeopardizing your time. You guys, this is your time. It's not about me. And I made it about me on that day. And that was just wrong. Even I know that. All right. And even Joe couldn't take it over with Wisconsin. All right. I'll take the under one more time. Prove me wrong here in this one. All right. And let's move on here. with another I got big time conference play today, even with this short card here. Michigan State taking on Ohio State here in this one. We've already seen the moves come in, so it's just a matter of what you want to do here in this one with these two teams. The line's wrong because we know the steam came in on Ohio State right now. They are a favorite here by 2.5. So, and also, the person's not a fan of mine. Oh, we've turned over here from this thing, and then to come in and try to rile it up because of it's just what it is. It's just the trolls. If you don't have them, you're not doing it right, is what the guys told me. All right, Ohio State here at minus 2.5 now. Move here against Michigan State. The total 148.5. So it's not even a real person. So don't even take offense to it. Or it's the same person over and over that makes a new account. They don't have an avatar. Okay, Ohio State here minus 2.5. We saw the steam come in. Ohio State and the steam. I thought we said the total had some steam too, didn't we? Let me dial it up here real quick. Ohio State comes in 9-4. Michigan State comes in here 11-2. It's Michigan State on a current winning streak right now for sure. Ohio State's won 3 in a row as well, but they didn't cover last time against Western Michigan. Ohio State here. Michigan State didn't cover against Western Michigan in that one, but they're on a winning streak here big time. They were covering numbers here. Ohio State's won 3 straight and covered in those games coming into this one. Thought the steam came in on the under on the Ohio State game, didn't it? No, not necessarily. Okay, let me cover a few trends and get your pick here maybe in this one with Ohio State taking on Michigan State here tonight. The total has gone under in 5 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams. The Buckeyes have covered the spread in 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams. Michigan State 4-1 against the spread on the road in their last 5 games here right now, but that dates back to last season because Michigan State has only played a couple of road games, I believe, so far this year. Ohio State 7-1 at home so far this season, 7-2 against the spread. Let's see, can I get that right? 7-2 straight up, 7-1 against the spread at home is, I think, the numbers here. I may have missed a game on my notes actually, but nonetheless, Ohio State taking the move here against Michigan State today. Let's go to the chat All-Stars and see what you want to do here in this one. Michigan State, they've really been doing well in some of these games against Ohio State. They're not even ranked here at this point, which might be a surprise. It's Michigan State that's ranked 18th right now, but Ohio State not currently ranked. The chat coming in here with let's see here. Thomas says Ohio State. Joe says this is my over that I'm betting. So Joe here likes the over. Oh no, Joe on the over here. He's betting this one. All right. I'll pivot here maybe with this game. Cash Game likes Michigan State. Robert says, "Give me the Buckeyes and the over as well." I'll take the Buckeyes here as my play. If Joe says this is the over to look at, I'll respect that for sure. Here, I kind of was thinking the other way, but I mean, Joe clicked yesterday. I'm not gonna not trust him at this point. The way he's been going on the totals, so I'll take Ohio State here on this move to get the money here in this one. Thanks, you guys. We're almost done with the show. We'll get the drawing together and have a great day today. Good game here. We already talked about the steam that came in on the Hoyas. In this one, the steam also came in on the under between Xavier and Georgetown. And, I think Coach Ed What can you say? They're 11-2. They're on a 4-game winning streak. And look, I even tried to fade Coach Ed in that game. What was it against? Oh gosh, we had him against Syracuse. We had him against Creighton, I think. Trying to remember what game. Did we actually try to take 28 points with Coppin and the 30-point? I remember trying to fade Coach Ed. Why would I do that? I don't know. I love Coach Ed. So look, they've obviously turned it around here at this point very quickly. They're not uh, overwhelming world beaters, but I mean, come on, this team's going to be tournament bound this year. They're slowly creeping up the standings here. It feels like in the Big East. We'll see what happens in conference play. It's going to be tough, right? Xavier's won 5 straight meetings between these two teams. 5 straight meetings between these two teams have gone over, but so far this season, these are hardcore under teams so far. These two teams have combined to go 8-18 to the under so far this season. Georgetown under in 8 of their last 10 games overall. And again, maybe the Hoyas were no good too, so maybe those games that have gone over because they weren't necessarily slowing teams down. So I'm going to take the under here in this one with Xavier and Georgetown here. I've got to love what Coach Ed is doing, and they got to be live to win this game for sure. They're just favored here by 2 and the total 147.5. So you see the line here. Obviously, we talked about the steam in Georgetown, the steam to the under. So there you go. 2 and 147.5. I'll take the under in this one. Two teams definitely going under here this year. Series history says over. I get that. But Xavier here, they are 2-1 against the spread on the road, 8-6 against the spread overall. But so far, Georgetown 9-1 at home. Xavier 0-3 on the road. This is straight up now, and 0-5 straight up as an underdog. So I'll try the under as my play here on the show, but this one's going to be a premium on the side for sure, it feels like. All right. Let's go to the chat here now. And Joe T says, are the Sharps on the over, according to the Action Network? Which in this game, are they? Is that what you're saying here? AOD, hello. And here is Alvin today. Nice to see you there. And Cash Kane likes the Hoyas to win the game. Joe says, my model says under. I can't go over here. Hoyas and under here for Robert. Old E says that Georgetown defense is solid, right? And that's all. Look, it's not like they were bringing in any top recruits. Yeah, I know that they're going to get more talent with Coach Ed. I think he brings in high quality character players, it feels like, for sure, and that makes them that much better. So here's some prop action from Nunya. Man, Nunya. All right. You made a good point here by Nunya talking about that Xavier OT game there. Was that the Marquette game, right? And Thomas says this is a consensus play. We're up to a 6-teamer here in this one today. So maybe someone will actually win a little bit of a real cash. Consensus on the under here, Xavier and Georgetown. I think I've got a couple more here to look at real quick, but we got to end this show. The St. Joseph's taking on St. Louis here in that one. And you got St. Louis here favored -2. Total here is at 151.5. Maybe it's 2.5 and 151. St. Joe's has had a pretty nice season so far. It feels like 10-4 overall. They've won 4 straight here right now. The Billicks are 8-6, including 7-1 at home. So far for St. Louis. the widely reported steam did come in on St. Louis in this game. Current line here right now still 2 and 151.5, as I said. So let's give some numbers out here. St. Louis has struggled in conference games for sure here right now, dating back even to last season, if I'm not mistaken. So with St. Joe is playing so much better, it feels like right now, like they've kind of got it back going to Hawks style ball here. But St. Louis has won 5 straight times at home against St. Joseph's. St. Joseph's has gone under in 5 of their last 6 games on the road. St. Louis has been a big time under here thus far. They've gone under in 5 of their 6 home games so far this season. So interesting to note, St. Louis definitely kind of owns the series here right now, but does feel like they're not the better team in conference action here. They've been beaten up on some lesser teams of sort here so far. You take a look at the schedule so far this season for the Billikens here coming in, and their wins not necessarily anything to write home about, but they beat Fordham, they beat Chicago State, right? They beat Jackson State, they beat Lowell, they beat Quinnipiac, they beat LMU, but they also have 2 wins over non-Division I teams, and they have losses here to teams like Grand Canyon. That's difficult. They actually played well in that game. They lost to Wofford. They lost to Illinois State. They lost to San Francisco. They lost to Wichita. They lost to Santa Clara. Those are all good teams. They beat bad teams, it feels like, when they lose to good teams. I'd have to put St. Joseph's in the good team category at this point. So even though St. Louis has been beating St. Joe's at home over the last 5 years, I'm going to have to take St. Joe's in this one. Imagine doing this all game long. Could you imagine being the St. Joe's Hawk? God, I can't even do it for 2 minutes and my arms are tired. But we'll take them tonight. Take St. Joe's here in this one. See what you got in the chat here, real quick. Cash Kane take St. Louis. And Thomas, no, here we go. Robert on the under here in this one. But I bet the Hawk, he takes off this, and the mask guy's probably got huge. I don't know, do you build muscle? I think you do when you do that. I still got a little bit of, All right. Give me the Hawks in this one. All right. One more, I think, or maybe I got one more or 2 more here. Creighton and Marquette tonight. This is a nice little card here in some of these conference games. Big favorite here for Marquette for sure in this one, but I don't know. I mean, there's still Creighton team here, 8-5 so far, 9-5 so far. Marquette ranked 8th in the country, no doubt about it. Playing outstanding here right now with 3 consecutive victories. They did lose that game to Dayton, but that was on the road. So feels like Marquette's got it done a lot for the most part. 5-3-1 against the spread at home. Here's a little steam I want to pass along in another game right now. Central Connecticut and St. Francis. Here's steam to the under here right now at 137.5. It was 138.5 down to 137.5 here right now with Creighton and Marquette. Creighton so far is just 5-8-1 against the spread overall, but they are 2-1 against the spread as an underdog. Still a pretty great program, no doubt. Creighton here, they beat St. John's last time out 57-51 as a 1-point favorite. They also beat Villanova and covered the spread at home. They got rocked by Georgetown on the road by 24 points. So that might raise a little bit of a red flag there. For Marquette, They did fail to cover, though, in home games against Butler. Failed to cover in a home game against Butler, winning by just 10 as a 14-point favorite. Feels uncomfortable, but I'm going to take Creighton here against the 8th-ranked Marquette Golden Eagles here. I almost said Warriors here, dating myself a little bit. Creighton did win the meeting here. No, I'm sorry. Last year's meeting was 72-67. Marquette won. They also got the money. Creighton won their meeting at home by 14, getting the money last year. So I'm going to try Creighton here in this one. I do like the total, I think, for sure in this game. I'm probably going to play the total here. 5 straight meetings between these two teams have gone under when playing in Milwaukee, and Creighton has gone under in 5 of their last 6 games on the road. Marquette, they pretty much just win these type of games in their sleep. So let's see what you got here. If anything, Cash Canes on Marquette. All right, one more here real quick. It's between Nevada and New Mexico as we go out to the Mountain West. You've got New Mexico coming in 11-3, Nevada here at 8-6. New Mexico is on a 4-game winning streak here right now. They are just 5-4 against the spread at home so far, but 7-1 straight up at home. Nevada has lost both of their road games, and New Mexico, I don't know where you might think they might rank in the Mountain West, but it feels like they've got a big shot here to have a pretty good run here in conference play. Nevada has won 9 of the last 11 meetings between these two teams, however, and they're a 6-point dog here. This actually, to me, Nevada's lost 3 in a row. I thought they'd be better. I still think they're okay and should be okay in conference. It feels like this feels like a rugged type of game here. I'm going to take the under in the matchup, actually, between these two teams and make that my play. Nevada definitely has a little bit of trend to the under here. Let me see if I can get my note on this one real quick and then get your plays or end up. Let's end the show here. Come on. So 3 hours for this little card. I don't mean to jeopardize your time, but just love having you guys here. So these conference games, though, for Nevada, they really do just end up going under most of the time. Nevada also is 4-10 to the under so far this season, including 2-8 to the under in their last 10. So it's got a little bit of breaking news here right now. It looks like RJ Barrett's going to miss the game tonight here against Orlando. So maybe that was part of what we've seen here so far with that move. Well, maybe not. I mean, we did take the over there, but we'll see. RJ Barrett of the Raptors, he is doubtful tonight in the game against Orlando. All right, give me the under here in this one with Nevada and New Mexico. I will try the under. If Nevada's going to be in this game, it better be less than 150 points is what it feels like to me. And I think that's what will happen here. New Mexico, always great in the pit. I get that. And New Mexico's also covered 4 out of the last 6 meetings between the two. All right, that's it for the show. Let's get a few more picks in here. New Mexico and under for Robert. Joe leading to the under here with me in this one. I don't know what's gotten into Joe here. And thank you to Nunya with a little 3-player prop parlay there. And let's type in your name or whatever in the chat. And, of course, if Stephanie wins, we're going to do the drawing again, of course. All right. Let me do my commercial, get that out of the way here. Hopefully you can get my picks over at winnable.com. I do like this card today. I thought I liked yesterday's card, so we're going to have to get it back here today with my picks. Get them over at winnable.com. Click on the QR code in the lower right-hand corner of the screen. That'll take you over to the Winnable page. I'd really appreciate it. This is how you support me here on the Sports Money Network. Mikey brought me over here. He said, Ramon, we're going to pay you like a star. But that's not going to happen for a while yet. We're just getting started with this project of giving you sports betting information. We're not coming out here, we're going to give you winners. I know that. I hope that. But we're also going to give you a lot of great sports information. You're going to see some great things coming out here in the next, probably within the next couple of weeks here. It feels like that's what Mikey's he said, be ready, Ramon. Just be ready. I don't know when we're going to be quite ready for everything we're doing, but be ready. And I think everybody knows that I'm ready. So we got some things in the works. You're going to be getting more sports information. And that's how you support me here on the channel. That's why I came over here. So I used to sell my picks. You saw Stephanie mention or making some shit up there about being over on that other channel. And that was a great experience. Don't get me wrong. Even if whatever they're saying is a bunch of made up stuff, the experience I had over there with the other channel was tremendous. I was selling my picks for $25, $35, $45 a day for 3 picks, 5 picks, 7 picks. That was good business, believe me, and it was rewarding over there. But I've changed the way I'm doing business here at the Sports Money Network. All I ask for is a little bit of contribution to keep me coming back, keep the pizza in the box, keep the steaks on the grill a little bit. And it's hard when you're betting sports, but I love to give you my information that I have. I feel like it goes to waste if I don't tell someone about the steam, about the trends, about the matchups. There are a lot of great handicappers on YouTube, but I think I do it different than everybody else. So to keep me coming back, why not chip in here and get my plays? You get extra plays here. You can subscribe for free over at winnable.com. I have some account over there also that we have some free plays, including my golf here this week. And my Chinese basketball wasn't that great overnight, but we've had some success there with and my soccer comes out also on the winnable free pass. So check me out over at winnable.com. Use the promo code STEAM to save 20%. If you get 1 month at $20, it knocks it down to about $16 or so. And not only that, it's about 50 cents a day. You already get me on the show. Wouldn't you just toss me a couple of quarters to do the show every day? We've only got 72 of you in here. I could it's not like I'm going to take the money and run, but it'd be right back here tomorrow doing the show again. So please check me out. And let's do the drawing. This show is over.
Steam play.
Oh, maybe it's not. We've got some steam here.
Steam play.
Okay. Well, we got some steam if you like Norwegian basketball. So, all right, let's go here now and do the drawing. Get ready, everybody, and let's see who we got. A 6-teamer today. A 6-teamer today. Is someone going to win like $200 today? Let's hope so. We've got 57 entry. Well, 56 if you count Stephanie. Let's do the drawing. Who's going to win? Here. Also, by the way, so they got the free picks. I don't know if you can see this. I'm on the small screen there, but they do have free picks here available for $0. So just sign up there. You can get some updates from me here. It shows me that you're supporting me. Okay, here we go. Here comes the drawing. Let's go for a 6-teamer tonight. Wine Time, Thomas, Dana, Robert, Elliott, Cash Kane, AOD, Robert Kelly, Felly, Gravy, Dana, Gravy, Joe T again, Nut Flush Allen. For Nut Flush Allen, it's not about the money. It's about just him winning this, and I want to thank him and honor him and his family. Everything that you've been through, Nut Flush, here, still part of our communities and everything, and a true OG as well. So Nut Flush, thank you. I know I've interacted with many more of the chat, more than Nut Flush, but just an admiration, respect as someone who did caretaking for my mother before she passed for many months. So Nut Flush, we love you and thank you. Here you are, the contestant. I hope you win this 6-teamer today. Make sure you have your Cash App, your Venmo, so I can send you, I don't know, probably close to a couple $100 here if this 6-teamer hits today. That'd be awesome. I better put this one in good. Got to admit, Joe T's 2-teamer, that's coming out of my pocket. I don't know if I played that one yesterday, but for a 6-teamer, I better put in at least a few bucks to cover my expenses in case Nut Flush. He doesn't get to choose, but we do choose for you with the chat consensus. Thank you, Nut Flush. He might have left, but we'll let him know when he wins here. But let me say hello and thank you to a few more. Nunya says it's going to be congratulations again to Nunya, my brother. Let me get me off this weird screen here. There we go. Congratulations again, Nunya. So proud of you here. We're no spring chickens, and for someone sometimes to take a chance on us, right? Even me here with that other site that I was on here as well. So Mike taking a chance on. They make it feel like I was doing them a favor. I was thankful for Mike and for Jeff. To take a chance on me. I told them I want to come here and I want to do it my way. Is that okay? And hearing the excitement in Mike and Jeff has really made it great to get up every morning, 2:30, 3 in the morning. Well, maybe today I got up at 4, but all right. Nunya says Texas State team totals looking sharp. Stop Geo. Thank you to Joe. And thank you, everybody, for the show. And we'll be back tomorrow with more Morning Steam, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific, with more predictions, picks, previews. It'll be Saturday. We've got NFL. We've got college basketball for sure, up the yin-yang, NBA, NHL, and one bowl game as well. So join me tomorrow. We'll have soccer, too. So come on back tomorrow with more Morning Steam. And don't forget Mikey Money today at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific. He'll get you ready for the primetime action tonight with his show pre-gaming here. And we'll have coverage tomorrow with the Betting Bros, Mike and Jeff. I'll probably be able to get to join them tomorrow. We had a great time last night. And man, I couldn't believe the number of views that we got for such a crummy game. If you're out there, Mike, watching right now, so impressed that we had such a good turnout there for the live show last night. So we're going to have more live coverage moving forward in the future with the guys, more shows too. That's part of what we're all about, what I'm talking about here with the things we have planned in store for 2025 with the Sports Money Network, your money network here for sure. Chat, go over those other shows, support all those guys, all my other friends over there. I'm all about this community, not just our Sports Money community, our Morning Steam community, but all those groups over there, the ones I've been with before, the ones we appear on, the people who are willing to take a chance to come out here and do these shows on YouTube, talking sports and sports betting. I saw the shows. I said, I want to do that. And well, here I am. And it's been thanks to your support and making you feel comfortable. When these goofballs come in, it just, it's not real. It's not true. So you know what we're all about. Thanks a lot, everybody. Catch you tomorrow here. More Morning Steam tomorrow for the Sports Money Network. I'm Ramon Scott. So long.
Can't escape from the team, call the Morning Steam. It's time to break one for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the Morning Steam. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the